First referee, Ms. Joy De Imus, National Referee. Second referee, Mr. Herbert Matematico, AVC International Referee. Let's welcome our starters from our F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Team captain wear jersey number 2, Abigail Maranyo. At number 1, Marion Angelique Alba. Wearing jersey number 3, Ivy Keith Laxina. At number 8, Jolina De La Cruz. Number 10, Mary Joy Baron. And at number 13, Kim Yanadi. At starting libero is number 5, Dawn Nicole Macandili Katindi. Head coach, Miss Regine Diego. Presenting our Petro Gazz Angels. Their game captain wears jersey number 8, Aiza Pontillas. At number 2, Janelle Welch Cheng. Wearing jersey number 5, Gretchel Soltones. At number 9, Mary Remy Joy Palma. Wearing jersey number 12, Casey Baldones. At number 20, Jonah Sabete. Starting libero is number 18, Cien Mary Ariel Cruz. Head coach, Mr. Oliver Alan Almadro.
Download and subscribe now for as low as 99 pesos a month. A little change in the lineup of Coach Oliver Almadro, but the F2 Logistics, it's the same starting lineup. 14 points for Maranyo, Jolina De La Cruz with 11, 11 for Majoy Baron, Kim D with 24, 4 players in double digits in that 5-set win against Choco Mucho. In the meantime, Des Clemente will not be in the starting lineup for Coach Oliver Almadro as Casey Galdones, after a 6-point performance in the last game, win against the Farm Fresh Foxies, she will be in the lineup. 2 players in double digits in that game, Soltones with 16 and Pontillas, as we mentioned, with 15. Set number 1 just about to get underway right here at the Phil Sports Arena, Pasig City, our venue for today's quadruple header. Let's hope, despite the rain, you guys can come on down and check out your favorite PVL players. Gonna be a big game, Paneng, for Angels especially. They don't want to drop down to 2-2 in the standings in a very short qualification preliminary period.
Yeah, that's right. And both teams are actually coming on from good wins during their previous games. But, you know, this F2 Logistics Cargo Movers coming up from a 5 sets, intense 5 sets actually. So we'll see who will get this good momentum, early good momentum for this set.
Well, Gretchel Soltones picking up where she left off, gets the first point of the match. But let's talk about the last games. For the Angels, it was a 3-set match against the Farm Fresh Foxies. F2 Logistics in a hot venue, 5 sets. I mean, how does that affect their stamina, their conditioning coming into today's game with just a day's rest in between?
That's right. Actually, 2 days ago lang yung games from both teams. So, of course, the coaches knows how to give this players proper tawag doon, yung parang makabawi sila from the pagod na nangyari ng first game nila previously. So we'll see. So far ngayon, slow start pa lang from both teams, but definitely both teams has one goal coming to this game, is to win.
Majoy Baron with a nice tip to get the first point of the Cargo Movers. Coach Diego of F2 is saying she credits her coaching staff, her strength and conditioning coach as well, for keeping the ladies in shape, especially after the conditions they played in last Tuesday.
That's right. It's very important for all teams actually to have good conditions, because also these coaches knows when their player will peak at the right time in terms of conditioning. So we'll see. Dahil malapit na matapos itong conference ito, nakikita natin na tumataas din yung level of play ng mga teams.
Nice spike there coming from Ivy Laxina. Let's go to this report by Alexis Tinsay.
Eric and Paneng, more about the player of the game last game against the Chocomucho Flying Titans. Kim Kennedy shared to me that her 24-point victory together with her team might have been the best game so far, given the decision of their coaching staff and her teammates' fighting spirit. Playing against a team who wanted it as much as we do, that's the more exciting part, she says. The never-ending rallies and the roaring fans made it more adrenaline pumping. As we all know, the Flying Titans were up by 2 sets, but KKD said once we tie them for a 5th set, sayang naman pinunta nila dito kung mapupunta sa wala. Up for that endgame, they're willing to do the same against Petro Gazz. Alright folks, it's time to dive back into the excitement of this match. And guess what? The Pilipinas Live app is here to crank up the fun factor. Grab the chance to download and subscribe for just 99 pesos per month. Now let's jump right back to the panel and keep the game spirit soaring.
All right, thank you, Alexis. Back-to-back points for Ivy Laxina to give the Cargo Movers the lead. But how about that comeback? How nerve-wracking is that for the Cargo Movers? You're down 2 match points, and via challenges, you start to come alive again in a match that you're on the brink of losing.
Yeah, actually, it was breaks of the game, you know, because all out sila eh. Like, Cargo Movers are really giving everything to score points. And they were actually down 3 points. Nauna na yung Chocomucho at 14, but because of their, tawag doon yung kapit ng team nila, and then their determination to win that game, and the eagle eyes of their coaches of seeing those 2 crucial challenge actually worked well for the whole team.
Remy Palma is rejected. She gets a taste of her own medicine. That block coming from Jolina De La Cruz. Take another look here. And yeah, you're right. Coach Diego also credits the the sharp eyes of her assistant coaches to call a challenge at those really crucial times.
Yes, and yun ang sabi ni Coach Reg is she's there standing sa court, coaching the whole team, but sometimes hindi na niya nakikita. That's why the assistant coaches has their own roles when it comes to challenge and seeing these kinds of stuff.
And Sabete gets a point off a block touch. Oh, it's a 1-point game, 3 serving 4. Remy Palma, 6 points in their last game. Prior to that, she had 13 points against Photon. Service error for Palma. So the Cargo Movers sitting on a 2-point cushion here in the opening set. Majoy Baron's 11 points against Chocomucho. Her first double-digit performance in the Invitational Conference. Kim D, yes!
You have to give credit to the good defense there of Majoy Baron. But leading the attack of Aiza Pontillas, and a good set there by Mars Alba to Kiana D, their go-to girl, the opposite.
First point for Kim D in the game. It's a 3-point lead. Bad receive there from Soltones. This is going to be a free ball coming from the Angels. Kim D with a push. Soltones. Oh no, Sabete with the attack. Kim D unable to keep it alive.
That was actually a good angle on the attack from Jonah Sabete. It was a sharp cross-court for her. Kaya medyo nagulhan doon yung defense pattern ng Cargo Movers.
Aiza Pontillas just turned 35 this February. Nice serve. Mars Alba to Kim D. Yes!
What a set from Mars Alba. That was actually a low and short set for Kiana D. Kaya naman na-late na doon sa block si Casey Galdon as the middle blocker of the Petro Gazz Angels.
Cargo Movers starting to pull away. They're up by 3 here in the opening set. Better pass from Shen Cruz. Sabete.
Oh!
An over receive by Don Macandini ends up as an easy point for the Cargo Movers, and they send us to our first technical timeout. They have a 4-point lead against the Angels. Bingo Plus, the first live streaming bingo in the Philippines. Welcome back to the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. Second game of our quadruple header. It is the #1 team in Pool B, the Cargo Movers, taking on the Angels, tied with a couple more teams at #2 in the standings of Pool B. Kim D, Abby Maraño. It's the same starting lineup for Coach Diego in this opening set. Meantime, Janelle Cheng and the rest of the Angels, with Casey Galdones making her first start for Coach Oliver Almadro and Petro Gazz. Petro Gazz finished 6th in 2022's Invitational Conference. In the meantime, F2, it's their first appearance in the Invitational. Sapete. Alba sets it up. Maraño with a push. Cheng back to Jonas Sabete. What a dig by Katindig. De La Cruz. 1-2 play by Janelle Cheng. A long rally here. Maraño. That could have been outside. Picked up by Soltones. Chance ball for the Cargo Movers. 1-2 play. Mars Alba knocks it in.
A good 1-2 play there from Mars Alba, but I have also to give credit to the defense of the Cargo Movers. Ang daming back and forth ng mga palo, but nakahatid nila na maayos kay Mars Alba. Kaya naman na-activate ni Mars Alba lahat ng mga spikers now. We saw a lot of running attacks and fast sets for her open attackers, and even on the opposite.
And you've got to be impressed with the confidence the rookie setter Mars Alba has in her first conference of the Premier Volleyball League. Sapete again through a double block. De La Cruz really up. Indeed, this is the first chance ball for the Angels. They go to the back. Soltones fires one in and scores against Katindig.
It's a much needed point from the Petro Gazz Angels. And a good set from Janelle Cheng. Nakita niya medyo hindi na nakakapatay ng bola yung mga frontliners niya. But Rachel Soltones also always ready for the Petro Gazz Angels. Mapa-back row man yan. She will always get the point.
Rachel Soltones, 27 years old, still skying high for each and every shot. Third point for Soltones. Sabete serving. She has 2 points. Looking for her first ace of the match. It's a 4-point deficit against the Angels, and they can't afford those.
I think that was the third service error from the Petro Gazz Angels. Make that second.
The rookie hitter, Jorina De La Cruz, coming off an 11.2 ace performance against Choco Mucho. Casey Galdones rejected by Laxina. Katindig passes to Alba. They go to Laxina. A double block against Ivy. De La Cruz keeping it alive. Maraño sends it to the back row. Soltones again. A strong push is turned away. Soltones will try. Katindig, right place, right time. Alba sets it up. Laxina off-speed hit. One-handed dig for Soltones. There's a net touch. Going to be called against Galdones. And Coach Almada will burn his first time out here. Now, as you take a look at the error on the way down, Galdones, her jersey clips the net. We'll listen in to the huddle of the Angels.
Dahil dalawa spiker natin, Casey, dalawa kagad umatake sa'yo dito. Okay. Variation. Naglag dito. Tama naman ginagawa, gusto power, kaya lang sinusugod ko na dito. Okay? Let's be mindful. Pari tayo, area tayo, kuha tayo ng area. And let's be patient sa baling ng bola. Walang problema madepensahan nila. Look, hindi lahat ng dinidepensahan nila will be getting to us na may power. So pinakailangan pag bumalik sa atin ng counter, tayo naman. Pero we have to be mindful sa yung area, lalo pag dalawa spiker natin. As, hingin mo to, Casey. Hingin mo to. Okay, kasi
It was actually a very comfortable lead for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Kaya naman, narinig na natin yung urgency dito kay Coach Oliver Almadro, reminding his players to be more aggressive and be more patient because the moment na lumaki yung lamang ng kalaban, dun minsan nagre-relax pa yung team nyo. But this time, kailangan nila makukuha muna ng good first ball because we're seeing good first ball and floor defense again from the Cargo Movers na very evident din during their previous game. So ngayon pinapakita na naman nila na they have those steady floor defense kaya nahihirapan makapatay itong Petro Gazz Angels.
Finally get one. There's a side out coming from Jonas Abete. There's Coach Diego. Our biggest lead was 7 points. It's right now at 5. Six serving 11. Nice serve from Galdones. A tough receive coming from De La Cruz, and Laxina with the error. This is 2 straight points for the Angels right now.
Medyo na-miss time doon si Ivy Laxina on the attack or open. Kasi medyo malayo din yung dating ng bola sa kanya. But still, good 2 points from the Petro Gazz Angels.
And if you could read the lips of Ivy Laxina, was she saying babaan mo? As Laxina this time goes down the line.
Well, she's actually kind of used to being a middle attacker. So yung mga sets ng middle, slow, fast and mababa. So, but if you're a wing spiker, we also have high sets and low fast sets. So maybe that's why she was asking Mars Alba to set the ball on a faster pace and a lower height.
Maraño with a nice
what a serve.
Janelle Cheng underhand pass. Sabete off speed. Maraño picking it up. A 1-2 play for Alba. Soltones against 2 blockers down the line. It's gone. Soltones, that's going to be her 4th point.
That's a good target on that attack from Soltones. Down the line attack. Take a look at that. She was actually facing for cross-court. Kaya yung defense ng Cargo Movers nandun waiting for a cross-court attack. But that was a good target on down the line from Gretchen Soltones.
28-year-old Janelle Cheng will turn 29 next month. 10 excellent sets against Farm Fresh, 20 against Photon. Alba to the middle, and Majoy Baron will knock it in.
So I think what's working now for the Cargo Movers is their good first ball, and Mars Alba really looking at her spikers. Kung ano niya set yung bola, mapa-open man yan or middle. Kaya we're seeing a lot of single block coming from the Petro Gazz Angels. So nalilate sila sa pagbasa ng mga sets ni Mars Alba.
Soltones against 2 blockers. Cheng. Aiza Maizo Puntillas. We talked about her in the open. How when the Angels desperately need a point, she is the person they go to.
That's right, and that was a good point from Puntillas. There was a good check actually from the side of the Cargo Movers, but there was a miscommunication in the defense between Katindig and De La Cruz. But still a good point for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Overpass. Remy Palma puts it away. For Palma, that's her first point.
That was a good read on the overball. Kasi kanina we saw there was a miscommunication on their side sa overball. But this time, Remy Palma really guarding that net for their squad.
This is the closest the Angels have been here in the opening set. Triple block against Kim Kiana D. The run continues for the Angels. 3 unanswered points for Petro Gazz. And Coach Diego will not call a timeout yet. Now Soltones and the Angels within 2. 11 serving 13 opening set. Alba to Kim Kiana D. What a dig for Soltones. Maizo Puntillas.
That was a point. Down the line attack from Puntillas.
Same shot, same result, and finally, Coach Diego will burn a timeout. Here is the attack by Kim Kiana D. It looked good, but Soltones, excellent defense on the floor. Here is Puntillas. That's her specialty shot right there. Right on the line, and it's a 1-point game. Timeout, F2.
Wala lang kayong mapa sa block. Kailangan natin kumapa talaga sa block. Diba sinabi ko na kailangan yung block? Kaya ngayon, mabol na isa na lang
up 6. They're
Yeah.
only holding on to a 1-point lead.
That's right. And yun na nga, napansin na nga ni Coach Reg Diego na nagre-relax yung team because they were really, they had a comfortable lead. 6 points. But with the guidance of Coach Oliver sa Petro Gazz Angels, just to be relaxed, take it 1 point at a time, it's working well for them right now. So they were able to cut down the lead to only 1 point.
I'm sure fans watching at home never thought for a second that the Angels were out of it already, despite being down by as many as 6. Now a chance to tie on the Soltones serve. One-handed set, Alba. Pontillas keeping it alive. Sabete. Gonna be a chance ball here for the Angels. Shen Cruz passes. Janelle Cheng goes back to Pontillas. Cross court. It's still alive. What a dig for Mars Alba. Another chance ball for the Angels. Back row, Soltones, the push. Alba picks it up. Katindig will set it. Laksina. What a rally here. Shen Cruz will play center this time. Pontillas timing it and knocking it in. The game is tied. The lead of F2 is no more.
Now the pressure right now is on the side of the Cargo Movers, and you could just see the character of the Petro Gazz Angels. You know that they were defending champions of previous conferences, and you could see that they were really relaxed and they know their job, just to get a lot of points and then just to play cohesively. So now they were able to tie the score at 13.
5 unanswered points by Petro Gazz. Make that 6 unanswered points, and they take the lead back. This is their first lead since 1-0. Petro Gazz is up midway through the opening set, and that is going to be the first ace of the match coming from Gracel Soltones, who now has 5 points. Good pass. And finally, Laksina stops the 6-point run of the Angels.
That was a long run for the Angels. But still, that was a much-needed point for the Cargo Movers. A good set, fast set on the opposite from Mars Alba. And hindi na nakahabol doon sa block si Remy Palma.
Ivy Laksina with 4 points. She had 4 as well against the Flying Titans, but she had 13 points in both first 2 games. How well has she flourished in her new position, Paneng?
Well, you know, her previous coach actually during her high school stint is Coach Regine Diego. So she knows, talking about Coach Regine, she knows the strengths of Ivy Laksina. She knows na kaya niya mag-open or opposite because she's very, she performs well. Mapa-middle man yan or wing spiker. So now we're seeing Ivy Laksina. There are times na hindi sila nagkakasabay sa set ni Mars Alba, but at least they communicate para makakuha pa ng mas madaming puntos dito si Ivy.
Pontillas knocking in a point, her 4th. Here's Kiana D. Oh, what a save by Sabete. Nearly a lift, but Sabete saves it. Here comes Pontillas again, rejected by Majoy Baron.
That was a good read on the block from Majoy Baron and Jolina De La Cruz. Really closing that cross court of Maizo Pontillas. Take a look at that. Good timing. Kaya wala na nag-cover sa Petro Gazz Angels because they knew na every time na you set the ball kay Aiza, most of the time mapapatay niya yung bola.
Daltones barely making contact with the ball. Jolina De La Cruz against 2 blockers. Yes. And the Cargo Movers retake the lead. They're up by 1, 16-15 against the Angels opening set. Experience a new way to feel the heart of volleyball. Watch every set, spike, dig, and block on any device, anytime, anywhere via Pilipinas Live. Download the app now and subscribe for only 99 pesos per month. A seesaw battle after Cargo Movers saw a 6-point lead evaporate. Right now they get back on top. 16-15 here in the opening set. Not a good receive from Pontillas. Off-system play coming from the back row for Soltones. So combination play. Jolina de la Cruz, dug by Shen Cruz.
Oh, what a set!
Sabete knocks it in.
Score. That was a good set from Janelle Cheng. Hindi na nakahabol sa block doon si Abby Marana. Take a look at this. That was a good height and good direction of the ball. Attack from Jonas Sabete down the line.
Sabete now with 4 points. Matches her output in that 4-set win against Farm Fresh Foxies. Meantime, we see Chi Sai, team captain, for the first time, coming off a 1-point performance. Unusual sub. She usually comes in the 3rd set, but a first set appearance by Chi Sai. Cross-court attack, and Kim Kiana D attacking the relatively new player on the floor.
Yeah, but you know, these coaches really maximizing their double substitutions as early as now because they want to have that 3 front row attackers, especially at this tight first set. Parang kanina, ang laki nga na lamang ng F2, but now isahan na lang yung point. So every point really matters for these both squads.
Kim Fajardo in the game for the first time, along with Jov Fernandez, the rookie, who did not see action against the Flying Titans. Also seeing action for the first time, Marian Buitre is turned away on her first attempt. That's a kill block for De La Cruz, her second.
Now F2 is up by 2 points with Kim Fajardo in the service area, one of the better servers for the Cargo Movers.
Saed sets it up, Sabete. Katindig. A very low set for Maraño, who puts it in.
That was a good defense actually from Katindig. Wala nang one step si Kim Fajardo. Sakto sa kanya yung dig na yun. She was able to set that ball back quick kay Abby Maraño.
There's a timeout by the Angels after this 2-point run. 3-point run by F2.
Dito ka lang, kasi para si Casey, hindi siya sa sobra. Okay? Again, one good attack tayo. Isa muna tayo. Kung may kombinasyon tayo, Ate Chief, pwede tayo mag-5? Pwede tayo mag-5 dito. Pwede para ito. Dito tayo, ha? May 5 tayo dito. Expect. Now, pag-counter sa atin, we have to use this. Kailangan natin mag-bari. Okay, huwag tayong makipagbalikan, ha?
Soltones and company had a good response after the first timeout by Coach Oliver Almagro. They were down by 6. Do they have another run in them to close this 3-point gap? Great entry by Fajardo and Fernandez, giving the Cargo Movers a big run late here in the opening set. There's a block against Sabete. Sabete tries again, off speed over the blockers. De La Cruz. Shen Cruz picking it up. Back row, Soltones with a push. Pancake save by Katindig. One-handed save by Shen Cruz. Another great rally, but that touch coming from side goes outside.
Well, that defense from Cruz is actually too tight sa net. Kaya naman nahirapan doon si Chi Sai because she was in the back row. Now Coach Oliver bringing back Aiza Pontillas and Janelle Cheng on the court. They're now down by 4 points.
This is 4 unanswered points by F2. 20 serving 16, opening set. Soltones, the pass. Sabete against 2 blockers down the line. One-handed save by Laxina. Jolina de la Cruz off speed. Underhand pass from Cheng. That's going to be 4 touches. Sabete did not get it across the net. 5 straight points now for F2.
That was a wrong contact on the attack from Jonas Sabete. The set from Janelle Cheng was actually okay. It was coming off from an off-system defense. Kaya naman yung set niya, tinaasan na lang niya. So if you're the attacker, usually adjust na lang sa bola, but that was mistimed from Jonas Sabete.
From 16 all, F2 has run away. Fernandez, that hit the antenna off of Fernandez, so that stops the 5-point run of F2.
I think Fernandez was looking for the hands of Jonas Sabete for that swipe, but hindi nga lang tumama.
And it was just a very narrow gap already. As Nicole Tiamzon is in the game for the first time, replacing Jonas Sabete. Tiamzon, 8 points against the Farm Fresh Foxies, that 4-set win. She came off the bench in the second set, but today she comes in much earlier for Coach Oliver Almagro. Laxina, what a pass. One-handed set. Fajardo and Maraño put it away.
What a set there from Kim Fajardo. Overball na, pa-overball na, but she was there for that one-handed set. And Abby Maraño were just ready for that quick attack.
Kim Fajardo, 29 years old, still so athletic, so good. As Aragalan makes her first appearance today. Only 1 point against Choco Mucho. Nice pass, Janelle Cheng.
Oh,
Ooh,
miscommunication.
And another shot, Maraño with back-to-back points. She now has 3. And it's back to the biggest lead of F2 at 6 points, 23-17.
Substitution from the Cargo Movers. Now Myla Pablo is inside the court, substituting for Ivy Laxina.
Myla Pablo, 7 points against Choco Mucho. Puntillas. Again, when the Angels need a point, they go to Aiza Puntillas.
It's a much needed point for the Angels. But they're still down by 5 points.
5 points now for Puntillas, also for Soltones. Galdones looking for her first points today. Fajardo sets it up. Myla Pablo, Galdones with a dig. Cheng. Soltones is rejected. Soltones taps it right back. Soltones up top, and there's a net touch as well from Kim Fajardo. So 2 straight points here coming from the Angels.
There's a good hustle there from Rachel Soltones. Good read, but Kim Fajardo. Net touch violation there.
And that was even on the way up.
Yeah.
And nice serve from Galdones. That's an ace. 3 straight points for the Angels. This is like deja vu. But
Kanina, 6 points yung hinabol nila. But this time, 3 points na lang ang kailangan to tie the score.
and they're on a 3-point run as well. They were down by 6, 23-17.
And Galdones was able to get the service ace from a Don Macandili katindig receive.
Myla Pablo down the line. No 6-point run for the Angels as Pablo gives the Cargo Movers 4 set points. First point for Myla Pablo. What a luxury for Coach Diego. You have Myla Pablo coming off the bench, right?
And she has a deep bench actually. So every time na may mga substitutions dito si Coach Reg, talaga everyone nagko-contribute sa points.
An overpass, and Majoy Baron with her 4th point wins the game for the Cargo Movers. A 5-point win, 25-20. Clear overpass right there. And Janelle Chen could do nothing. F2 Logistics Cargo Movers win the first set 25-20 against the Petro Gazz Angels. New streaming experiences also await via the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for as low as 99 pesos per month. 25-20 F2 winning over Petro Gazz in the opening set of this preliminary matchup in Pool B. Let's take a look at some of the highlights right here at the First Sports Arena, Pasig City.
Well, that was a good first set for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. They were up by as much as 7 points during the first half of the first set, but not until the Petro Gazz Angels were able to tie the point. I think nakaabot sila ng 13, and they were the ones na nakakuha pa ng 1-point advantage during that mid-first set. So first is the Cargo Movers it was very evident that they relaxed during that point, and then the Petro Gazz Angels naman, talagang they played relaxed, they stayed during their gameplay. Talaga sinunod nila yung mga utos ni Coach Oliver Almagro. And we're looking at the statistics now. Attack points, F2 was only up by 4 points. And even the blocks, 1 point lang yung advantage itong F2. But look at the service ace of Petro Gazz Angels. They had 2 service aces, but medyo late na yun at the latter part of the first set because malaki na yung lamang itong Cargo Movers. They were up by as much as 4 points during the last part. But coming into this second set, if the Petro Gazz Angels wants to close this set, they have to start stronger because medyo mabagal yung naging start nila nung first set. But F2 Logistics, Coach Eugene Diego really using his double substitutions. Kim Fajardo had an excellent job in the service area and also setting the ball to her attackers. Kaya naman lumaki na yung lamang doon ng Cargo Movers.
Well, Remy Palma, she has a tough road ahead in terms of defense because so many players attacking, scoring for the Cargo Movers. Aiza Puntillas with 5 points, second leading scorer for the Angels. Only 5 players scoring for Petro Gazz in the opening set. 8 players for the Cargo Movers. So you can see that Mars Alba has really done a much better job distributing the ball. But you can't take away anything from Janelle Cheng. It's the reception as well. The reception of the Angels, it hasn't been as good as it could be. Meanwhile, the passes from the Cargo Movers much better to Mars Alba in the opening set.
That's right. It's not just the first ball, but also their floor defense. Talking about the Cargo Movers, kahit na nagpapakula ng malalakas na palo itong Petro Gazz Angels, the Cargo Movers was still able to deliver that defense straight to their setters, kaya hindi nahihirapan mag-distribute ng bola yung setters ng Cargo Movers.
Ivy Laxina, this one goes outside for Laxina. That's going to be her second attack error. And just like the opening set, the first team to get on the board, the Angels, 1-0. Set number 2. Same starting lineup for both teams. No changes to start set number 2. Katindig passes. There's Kim Kiana D. Ram Palma picks it up. Back row, Soltones. Katindig once again with a pass. Chance ball here for the Angels. Cheng. Aiza Puntillas down the line. It's just outside by maybe an inch.
And there was a no block touch there. But actually, the set was quite low from Janelle Cheng. Kaya maybe parang pinalo na lang yon ni Aiza Mai, so trying to target that down the line, but it was just outside.
So 1 attack point, 1 attack error for the Angels, giving the Cargo Movers their first point of set number 2. 1-1. Laxina. No aces yet for the Cargo Movers in the match. Meanwhile, 2 aces already for the Angels as we check in with Alexis Tinsay.
Eric in Paneng, Nicole Chamzona, Petro Gazz mainstay told me if you've been here for a long time, you gotta shake things up once in a while. Be it a change in perspective or a growth in mindset. And knowing that they face a younger team, Des Clemente, another Angel, mentioned to me how younger people will be coming into the league more aggressive, more ready to take your spot, so you have to put your feet more fully on the ground. Des says we gotta thrive in maturity to lead the game because the experience we have is the key to winning playing against a team with fresh legs. And speaking of leading the game, the Pilipinas Live app is here to elevate this match even more. Seize the opportunity to download and subscribe for only 99 pesos per month. Now let's return to the panel and keep the game spirit flying high.
All right, thank you, Alexis. A point by Majoy Baron. And right away, this is a 3-point run for F2. Nice serve, but a better pass from Shen Cruz. Sabete, yes.
Good attack there by Jonah Sabete. She has two tall blockers in front of her. She has Kim Kiana D and Majoy Baron. Take a look at that, using the hands of KKD to get that point.
Sabete with 5 already. That stops the 3-point run by F2. Katindig passes Alba. Majoy Baron tips it. Kept alive by Puntillas. Back row attack is no good. Did not cross the net for Soltones. No challenges yet today so far.
Well, so far, parang nakikita nila na talagang hindi nag-over yung bola. Kaya there's no reason for them to use their challenge.
Kim Kianadi already with 3 points. Coming off a 24-point performance against the Flying Titans. That is outside for Galdones.
That was way too outside from Casey Galdones, rather.
Galdones, the former Tigress in college. In high school, she was a lady warrior. Only 1 point for Galdones today. Majoy Baron in the meantime with 5 already. Sabete, wow.
You mentioned about the challenge, so now the Cargo Movers will use their first challenge. They will challenge that attack from Jonah Sabete if it was ball in or ball out.
That would have been the 6th point of Sabete. If it's in, we'll find out from the challenge here. Cargo Movers winning the opening set, 25-20. So far, they're undefeated in Pool B of the Invitational Conference. They've won 3 straight games. They won against the Farm Fresh Foxes in the first game, the Signal HD Spikers in the second game, and then that 5-set thriller last Tuesday, right here at the Phil Sports Arena against the Flying Titans. So they're coming into today with a very high confidence level. And there's the shot in slow-mo, and it's in.
That's inside. A successful challenge there by Coach Dean Diego. So now they only have 1 challenge left for this set.
So that's going to be the 6th point of Sabete. Angels are on a 2-point run after being down. Three serving 5, second set. Angels, in the meantime, are coming off back-to-back wins after losing their opening game. There's a shot by Kim Kiana D to stop the run of the Angels.
That was actually a good check from the Petro Gazz Angels, pero nahirapan na sila to get that second ball. Take a look what happened during that last sequence. It hit Galdones, but medyo malayo na kay Rachel Soltones to get that second ball.
So Kim D with 4. That's her first point here in the second set. No aces yet for the Cargo Movers. Underhand pass, Janelle Cheng, Soltones. Easy coverage for Kim Kiana D. Katindig sends it to the back row for Ivy Luxina. Running attack, Galdones rejected by De La Cruz. Soltones off and off system play into the net for Gretzel Soltones.
And that was a mistimed attack from Gretchen Soltones. Now, if you're looking at the set plays of Petro Gazz Angels, Janelle Cheng was setting a lot of balls to her wing attackers, open attackers, and even opposite kay Maizo Pontillas. But if you look at the Cargo Mover side, Mars Alba really distributing the ball to all of her attackers. So medyo double time dito yung mga wing spikers ng Petro Gazz Angels.
Back-to-back attack errors for Soltones. And they're down by 5, 8-3 against the Cargo Movers, set number 2. Come and watch the best basketball players in the globe and cheer them on live inside the venues. The FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 single game pass is now available for as low as 499 pesos. Get your tickets at SM Tickets, TicketNet, or philippines.ticketing.worldcup.basketball. F2 on top by 5 here in the second set. And their biggest lead was 7 in the opening set. Short serve from Kim Kiana D. 1-2 play rejected by Maraño. Cheng underhand pass. Soltones. Oh, cutting dig with a dig.
Over ball.
Another block by F2 coming from De La Cruz. Great rally. De La Cruz with 2 blocks in the game. There's Laxina from the back row. Caldones. Oh, katindig once again. Here comes Kim Kiana D. The push. What a save by Sabete. Rally continues. Mars Alba to De La Cruz.
Oh!
Short on the off-speed attack.
That was a good intention from Jolina De La Cruz because the defense pattern of the Petro Gazz Angels was they were all waiting for that strong attack, lalo na pag miss set from Mars Alba. But you have to give credit to the defense of Don Macandili Katindig. She was really everywhere during that last sequence. Good coverage from her, but still a good defense also from the Petro Gazz Angels.
And we mentioned Katindig coming off a 23 dig performance. That's going to be 4 touches against F2. And before that, she had 48 digs.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
48 digs in one game.
That was the one against the HD Spikers. That 4-set win by F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. 48 digs. Unbelievable for Don Macandili Katindig. In the meantime, a serve by Casey Galdones. Mars Alba to De La Cruz. Yes! If that's on Palma, that's going to be her 3rd block. Yep. 3rd block by Rem Palma in the game.
Good block there by Rem Palma. Take a look at that. Miscommunication there in the coverage from Ivy Laxina and KKD.
At Palma, the first best middle blocker in the recently concluded All-Filipino Conference. A 2-point game, 6 serving 8. Not a good pass there from Laxina. Maraño with a push. Palma picking up the first touch. Back row. That's Aiza Maiza Pontillas with the point.
That was Pontillas from the back row. Getting a point there from the missed block of Jolina De La Cruz. So take a look at this, what happened during that last sequence.
6 points for Pontillas as Aragalang returns this. Don Macandili Katindig again sacrificing her body. And Aragalang back in the game. 4 unanswered points for the Angels. They are within 1, a chance to tie here on the Galdones serve. Not a good receive from Galang. Short on the attempt, and the game is tied. 6 unanswered points once again. Another 6-point run against Coach Diego.
Kaya mapapatawag dito ng timeout si Coach Reg Diego. Let's listen in.
Okay. Kailangan ng energy, kailangan ng isang makapatay. Error lang natin dyan. Understand? Huwag tayong sumabay. Girls, kailangan ihatid yung set para maka-set si Mario na maayos. Kasi hindi tayo makakapatay ng nakapantay na yung blockers. Hiwalay natin yung blockers.
Gusto niyo mag-adjust doon yung open para lang maiba yung target.
Let's go, ha?
Well, the momentum clearly with the Angels. Let's see if the timeout by Coach Diego shifts that momentum back to F2. Aragala with an attack error after subbing in here in the second set. Rem Palma 3 blocks in the game already. Sabete with 6 points. Aiza Puntillas with 6 as well. And Galdones with 1 ace. And that's her first point of this match. Chance to take the lead. Good pass. Mars Alba, Maraño gets the kill.
That was a good side out from the Cargo Movers. Good timeout also from Reg Diego. But you could hear Don Makandili Katindig during that timeout. Also reminding Mars Alba, so why not let's change the positioning of their attackers. That's why you saw Aragalang. Kanina nasa pwesto siya ng open, but after that timeout, nandun siya on the opposite side. Kaya medyo naghiwala yung blockers doon ng Petro Gazz.
Aragalang though clearly struggling here in the second set. Service error after an attack error earlier, so the game is tied again at 9. Aragalang, 2 errors, no points yet. Good serve from Cheng. Bad receive from Aragalang. Here comes Kim Kianadi off system play. Dug very well by Cruz. Soltones fires one in. And the Angels are back on top. They're leading 10-9 here in the second set.
That was actually a good back row attack from Kiana, but a good defense, better defense from the Petro Gazz Angels. That's why Janelle Cheng was able to set that ball kay Gretchen Soltones. Perfect height for that open set.
Overpass. Rem Palma unable to put it away because Katindig was right there for the dig. Laxina off-speed hit picked up by Sabete. Soltones, her second straight point in the second set. She now has 8.
Again, we saw that open attack from Gretchen Soltones. Towering her blockers. Take a look at this. Ang layo na ng gap doon ni Abby Maraño kay Mars Alba. That's why Coach Reg using her double substitutions as early as now. Kim Fajardo and Fernandez inside the court for the Cargo Movers.
Galang, again, not a good receive. Job Fernandez rejected. Fajardo with coverage. Here comes Laxina against double coverage at the net. Soltones, the tip, picked up by Fajardo. Katindig sets it up back to Laxina. Off-speed hit, picked up by Palma on the first touch. Back row, Sabete. Another good rally here. Laxina, single blocker. Yes!
Much needed point for the Cargo Movers. Take a look at that open attack. Actually, parang pa-outside siya, right? Ang taas ng daan ng bola na yon ni Ivy Laxina. That was way inside the court of the Petro Gazz Angels.
A 1-point game. Cargo Movers down by 1. Aiza Puntillas hits it. Aragalang picking it up. Laxina, back-to-back points for Ivy Laxina, and the lead of the Angels is gone. We're tied at 11.
She delayed her approach for that open attack. Kaya naman na-miss time na rin dito on the block si Maizo Pontillas. Take a look at that.
Back-to-back points for Ivy Laxina. She has 6, 4 in the opening set and 2 here in the second set. The tip by Palma is good. Four for Rem Palma. 1 attack, and this is it. And 3 blocks. Angels back up by 1. 12 serving 11. Soltones, leading scorer for both teams with 8 points. Ooh. Service error. The first one for Soltones. And here's Job Fernandez seeing action for the first time since the game against the HD Spikers. She did not play against the Flying Titans last Tuesday.
Oh, good
Again,
cover.
Katindig. Oh, that's going to be double contact. As two players collide for the second touch.
Miscommunication there between Ara Galang and Kim Fajardo. Actually, Kim was there to set the ball, but minsan hindi ka nagkakarinigan sa loob ng court.
That's rare for for veteran players. It's rare. It's si Ara Galang, Kim Fajardo, who played for such a long time together as well. Majoy Baron with a push. Rempalma digging. Pontillas rejected.
Oh, good set.
Laksina, yes. Ivy Laksina with 7.
That was a good set from Fajardo, waiting for the approach of Majoy Baron before setting the ball in the open to Ivy Laksina. Kaya man, one blocker na lang meron doon si Ivy. Good play there by the Cargo Movers.
Ivy Laksina. No ace, no service error yet. 13 all. Second set. Nice set by Cheng to Gardones, and KC Gardones with her second point.
The set was actually a bit far kay Casey Galdones. Kaya she used her left hand, but at least she was still able to get the point out of it. Kaya to see Fernandez na late na doon for the defense. And now Coach Reg Diego bringing back in Mars Alba and Kim Kiana D.
Angels back up by 1. 14 serving 13. Pontillas with 6 points. And that is her first service error. Couple of service errors for the Angels. Giving the Cargo Movers some easy points. Myla Pablo coming off the bench. Scored 1 point in the opening set to put the team at set point 24-20. Again in the first set. Right now we're tied at 14, second set. Sabete, nowhere to go. 3-player block against Jonas Sabete.
Yeah, that was a good timing on the block from the Cargo Movers. Like Aragala, Abby Maranyo, and Kiana. Good read there on the play of Jonas Sabete. Nowhere to go.
Aragalan will be credited for the block, her first point. Sabete gets it through this time. Galang attacking. That's done by Sabete. Sabete asking for it. She got it. Laksina the pass. Mars Alba sets it. Kim Kiana D. Dug by Pontillas. Maranyo will play center. Oh, that's, double contact clearly.
Yeah. Medyo gumagalaw pa siya bago niya iset yung bola. Kaya nag-double contact doon si Abby Maranyo.
Abby Maranyo though, 4 points. 3 in the first set, 1 in the second set. 15 all. First to score sends us to our second technical timeout here in set number 2. Angels down a set after losing the first 20-25. Janelle Cheng. Soltones rejected. Pontillas back row. Laksina with a dig. Maranyo the dump. Yes! And the Cargo Movers back on top. And which brings us to our second technical timeout. 16-15. Second set. inside the Phil Sports Arena. Game number 2 of your quadruple header on Pilipinas Live. And here's our matchup. Let's update you with the scores. Pontillas with 6-4 for Kim Kiana D. Pontillas 4 over 6 coming in the first set. Meanwhile, Kim D 3 over 4 coming in the first set. Pontillas 15 points in their last game, while Kim Kiana D coming off a 24-point performance in that 5-set win against Chocomucho. They're up 1-0 and are up by a point, 16-15, second set. Janelle Cheng, Soltones. Yes! That was a long cross-court shot.
It was. Kaya medyo si Don Katindi, pinakawalan na lang niya because there was only one blocker for that attack ni Gretchen Soltones. Kaya pumasok siya for a stronger defense. But Gretchen Soltones, being a smart open attacker, really pushing that open attack to the zone 5 of the Cargo Movers defense.
After 2 attack errors, Ara Galang starting to come alive. 2 points. Cargo Movers back on top by 1. Alma, that's nicely dug by Katindig. Cheng to Soltones against 2 blockers. Yes, Soltones now in double digits with 10. Gretzel Soltones, 3-time MVP and a 4-time beach volleyball MVP. With 10 already, and she ties the game at 17. Janelle Cheng, a 2-time NCAA best setter with the serve. Oh, single lady block. Soltones now with 11.
Those 3 consecutive points from Gretchen Soltones. Timing that running attack of Abby Maranyo. Well, take a look at that single block from Gretchen Soltones. No coverage on the side of the Cargo Movers.
She knew Maranyo was going cross-court. She was right
Yeah.
there waiting for it. Bad pass from Ara Galang. Back row, Kim Kiana D into the net. And just like that, the Angels are up by 2. Timeout for Coach Diego and F2.
Pasa sa center para makalansi tayo. Pag dalawang spikers sa naman, kailangan natin yun. Yan, kailangan paihatin. Naintindihan nyo, baka hindi nyo nakikita yung score kung gaano kalapit na nila. Kailangan may konti naman tayong push. Wala na pupush sa loob. Tahimik na naman natin. Sino na naman? Walang energy eh.
Coach Regine Diego reminding her players na dapat mas madami pa silang push going to the last part of this second set because medyo nagre-relax na sila. If you look at their body language, parang wala na masyadong nag-uusap and they're just waiting for the Petro Gazz Angels to commit an error for them to score. But if they want to get this second set, they have to work hard for it, especially that Petro Gazz is now up by 2 points.
This is the biggest lead of the Angels. Laksina. Coverage by Sabete. Here comes Soltones again. 11 already. Katindig with a dig. Kim Kiana D back row. Again, back-to-back errors for Kim Kiana D. Both into the net. And this is the biggest lead now of the Angels at 3 points, 20-17.
Now you can see Gretchen Soltones really giving her all when it comes to scoring. She scored the last 4 points or 3 points for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Ooh, service error. That's going to be the 3rd service error in the second set for the Angels. And that stops their run. They have a mini 2-point cushion, but it's not a safe lead at all. Maranyo, no aces yet. She has 5 points. Soltones from the other side, outside.
That was outside, no block touch.
And all it takes is a few errors. because this is not a big lead for the Angels. And Coach Almadro knows that. After 2 straight errors, calls a quick timeout. Their lead is down to 1. We'll listen in.
Area lang tayo. Okay, 1 good receive. Sa atin ang puntos natin, ha? Iwalay. Reminder, middle yung nagsaserve, ha? Middle yung nagsaserve. Reminder yan. 3 pa rin tayo, ha? May advantage pa rin tayo. Okay? Go. Go.
Isa lang tayo, isa lang.
Sige lang. Bawin na lang.
They had a 3-point lead, but 2 straight errors. 1 service error from Janelle Cheng, attack error from Soltones, and now they're only up by 1. 1 more timeout remaining for the Angels. No more timeouts for F2. A very close end game here in the second set. Janelle Cheng, combination play. Soltones bounces back after the error and restores a 2-point lead.
That was actually a smart play from Janelle Cheng. Nakapwesto si Gretchen Soltones on the opposite, but with that good first ball, ang layo ng tinakbo ni Soltones from the opposite to get that open attack and using the hands of Mars Alba to get that point. And now they're up by 2 points once again.
Soltones with 12 points actually already. This is going to be a big serve. Not a good receive. Galang has really struggled with reception today. Laksina off speed. Pancake save. Sabete. Pontillas hits it. Katindig with the pass. Mars Alba back to Laksina. Blocked by Pontillas. Oh, what a play! Liza Pontillas from rescuing on the 3rd touch runs back to the net for the block.
And she gets that point. So you have to give credit that point to Maizo Pontillas. Ang layo ng hinabol niya na yun. But actually the set from Mars Alba was quite low because she already knows that hahabol lang sa block dito si Pontillas. But being a veteran, Maizo really getting that point for their squad.
Oh, beautiful zero tempo play right there from Majoy Baron. Really on top of the ball to stop that 2-point run by the Angels. It's a 2-point game. What an answer by the Cargo Movers. Still anybody's set here. Mars Alba, 1 point. But she's been setting so well. One-handed dig is no good for Katindig as Pontillas knocks it in. Back-to-back points for Maizo Pontillas. She now has 8.
Now you gotta expect more sets for Maizo because they need to win this set to extend the match. And like what we mentioned during the pregame, this is a very important game for all the teams, especially in Pool B. It's a tight second spot there because there's a lot of teams na tie in the standing with 2 wins and 1 loss currently.
Laksina through the double block. What a shot for Ivy Laksina. It wasn't that hard, but it hit one of the blocker's arms and went off an odd angle, preventing the dig.
That's right. It was actually a good change of direction in the attack from Ivy Laksina. You know, you just really have to be smart when it comes to scoring. Dahil malakas man napalo yan or drop ball, it's still considered as 1 point. So at the latter part of this set, talaga importante for the Cargo Movers to score a point para makakuha ng tie in the 23.
Laksina with the dig. Aragalang against 2 blockers, pushes. Sabete picking it up. Janelle Cheng goes back to Maizo Pontillas. She is unstoppable here in set number 2. 9 points in the second set.
Really unstoppable, Maizo Pontillas. Papansin mo, lumalakas na yung palo niya. If you compare it during the first set. Now, really smart volleyball here from Pontillas. Now they're at set point.
Yeah. Pontillas, no aces yet. Oh, no. That's going to be her second service error. Maizo Pontillas. That's got to hurt if you're the Angels. Although they do have 2 more set points, you don't want to give the Cargo Movers any breathing room in a game like this. Majoy Baron. Better pass from Shen Cruz. That's a off the block shot, and Sabete wins the second set for the Angels with her 7th point of the game.
What a second set for the Petro Gazz Angels. Kanina, sobrang dikit yung start. Not until nakabul na naman nila yung 6-point advantage ng F2 Logistics. And with Aiza Maizo, Gretchen Soltones, and Jonas Abete really scoring a lot for their squad. Kaya mo nakuha na nila itong second set, 25-22. New streaming experiences also wait via the Filipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for as low as 99 pesos per month. What a second set from the Petro Gazz Angels. It was actually a close start talking about that second set. Not until the Petro Gazz Angels getting that lead during the middle part of the second set. We saw a lot of set plays from Janelle Cheng, Jonas Abete, Gretchen Soltones, and Aiza Maizo. They were able to confuse the blockers of the F2 Logistics cargo movers and even their defense pattern. And ang grabe yung sipag na pinakita dito ng Petro Gazz Angels, and we saw the body language of the cargo movers. It was very evident na medyo nag-relax sila nung nakahabol sa point dito ang Petro Gazz Angels. A good set for their squad, and we're looking at the statistics of that set. Petro Gazz dominating on the attack department with 14 points versus 10 of the cargo movers. And again, blockings. The Angels were able to get 3 blocks versus 1 ng cargo movers. Though Petro Gazz got more errors compared to the cargo movers, but their attack points, especially during the latter part of that second set, worked well for their squad. Kaya naman tayo na tayo dito ang set. 1 set apiece for this game.
Well, for the F2 Logistics cargo movers, 9 players have already touched the ball and contributed offensively. For the Angels, it's still the same, Paneng. Still the same 5 players. They've just scored a lot more in the second set. And you mentioned them. So Tones, Sabete, Portillas, those are the key guys that Alba, Laxina, Maraño, Maron, they have to guard, they have to defend against here in the third set.
That's right, and we actually saw less middle attacks coming from the Petro Gazz Angels, but still the blockers of the cargo movers had a hard time reading the sets of Janelle Cheng, even though only the wing attackers of the Petro Gazz Angels were scoring a lot for their squad. So it's working well because ito na yung trio ng Petro Gazz Angels who always kumukuha ng madaming puntos for their squad. And like what we mentioned, the cargo movers, very distributed yung mga sets ni Mars Alba, but still nakakuha pa rin ng set dito ang cargo mover. So they have to focus on the sets of Janelle Cheng, read her sets, and read the attackers, especially the wing attackers of the Petro Gazz Angels.
A match update, 9 points already for Pontillas as Baron tips it. Rally continues. Pontillas, 10 points already for Aiza. Aiza Pontillas right on the shoulder of Katindig as well. That shot went down. But Pontillas now in double digits. In the matchup, Kim Kianadi only with 4 points. A quiet afternoon so far for D.
That's right, and maybe because the ball was actually distributed well for the side of the Cargo Movers. But still, nahihirapan pa rin sila makakuha ng puntos with the blockings of the Angels and better floor defense from their squad.
Chance ball for the Angels, dug by Katindig. Here comes Laksina again. She was blocked earlier. Palma keeping it alive. Shen Cruz passes. Sabete back row. Katindig, nice pass. Laksina, single blocker. Shen Cruz with a beautiful dig.
Oh, tight
Soltones
set.
with a tip. The kicking save is no good from Katindig as the Angels, with their best start of the match, they're up 2-0 against the Cargo Movers.
And actually, para mas mabilis na gumalaw ngayon ang Petro Gazz Angel. If you compare their set plays during the first set and second set, mas lively sila coming into this third set.
13 for Soltones, 10 for Pontillas. 2 players in double digits already for the Angels. No player in double digits for the Cargo Movers. Soltones, buries that one on a cross-court cut shot. Beautiful play by Soltones. 14 points already. Let's check in with Alexis inside.
Eric and Paneng, indeed, like you said, there is a rookie to keep an eye out for. Mars Alba with 18 excellent sets last game. Mars, coming from DLSU, told me that she had a smooth sailing transition from the UAAP to the Pro League, given the same system and value she's grown up to. Her biggest challenge yet here at the PVL is to provide the same solid connection provided by Kim Fajardo to their spikers. In her best effort, she tries more and more to cater to the F2 spikers' specific requests to maximize their overall plays. She appreciates the individuality of the veteran spikers as Mars has been training for the past 2 months, and this is only the beginning. Now it's time to dive back into the excitement of this match, and the Pilipinas Live app is here to crank up the fun for just 99 pesos per month. Now let's jump right back to the panel and see which team will duly dominate the set.
Thank you, Alexis. And Palma driving it down the line against Katindig and scoring 4-1 start for the Angels. This is their biggest lead of the match, 6 points for Palma. But going back to that report by Alexis, I don't think there's been a rookie that's ever had an easier transition as Alba. I mean, right away, first game of her pro career, and she's a starter, and she's doing well in that position.
Well, that's right. And though she mentioned that they have the same system, talking about the LSU Lady Spikers and the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, may times din na sabay din silang nagtitraining and yung tune-up games nila. Oh, wow. Sorry, what about that running attack from Remy Palma?
Back-to-back points, she has 7.
Yeah, but talking about Remy Palma, she did mention that this is her favorite attack, the running attack, slide attack. That's why it was very evident here. Take a look at that down the line attack there by Remy Palma. So going back to the same system of F2 and DLSU, kaya naman very parang mas relax ngayon si Mars Alba because she knows it was the same sets, same height, and yung same patterns actually from both teams.
There's a quick overturn of the call by first referee Joy Dimus. She initially called the point for F2 after this block by Palma. And Kindi now getting clarification from Mary Joy Dimus, our first referee, because she changed her call and gave the point quickly. She realized her mistake and the point to the Angels.
Kailangan may gumawa ng puntos. Ayun yan. Girls, gumagalaw yung running nyo. Di pa rin kayo. So yung tao nyo, gumagalaw. Pag gumagalaw, susunod tayo. Okay? Kailangan ihatid yung pasa. Kailangan nila kombinasyon ba nila maintindihan. Basic lang yung nilalaro nila. Receive, set, follow. Tayo, nakitulong tayo sa receive. Hindi natin maihatid ng perfect sa spiker. Si spiker, di maka-discarte. Kailangan ito yung discarte. Ang layo na ng score, kailangan natin humabol lang, humabol lang, humabol. Mag-reset kayo na mag-reset. Ano kayong relax? Hindi pwede yun. Wala nang babayan. Ganun na. Let's go!
This is the biggest lead of the Angels in the entire match. They're up by 5, and Coach Diego, that's exactly what she said, and they have to do something about it. What is wrong right now? Why the slow start for F2?
Well, actually, dahil ang ganda nung end second set ng Petro Gazz Angels, and ang ganda din ang start nila coming into this third set. Kaya if you look at the Cargo Movers, medyo nagugulat sila ngayon, and they're waiting for that someone to be the spark plug for their squad. And we're seeing a lot of errors coming from their squad. No block touch there from the attack of KKD. And we were just talking about the system of the LSU and F2 and the running attack of Remy Palma. And ang bilis as early as now.
Biggest lead again of the entire match for the Angels. Kim Kiana D with 3 errors, 4 points. Laksina, single lady block. Jonas Sabete with her first kill block. She now has 8 points, 7-point lead for the Angels, their biggest of the match. And that sends us to our first technical timeout in set number 3. Come and watch the best basketball players in the globe and cheer them on live inside the venues. The FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 single game pass is now available for as low as 499 pesos. Get your tickets at SM Ticketnet's Ticketnet or philippines.ticketing.worldcup.basketball. And welcome back to the Phil Sports Arena's second game of our quadruple header, and this is turning into one thriller again, as after losing the opening set, the Angels have bounced back big time in the second set, and here as well in the third set. They are up by 7. Great serve from Soltones. Here comes Sabete. Katindig with a nice dig. Cheng, back set. Montillas. Great defense coming from Alba. Laksina. That's partially deflected up top. Cheng, back to Sabete. And that's outside.
That was outside. No block touch was called, but Petro Gazz Angels will use their challenge.
And Coach Almadro seemed to be pretty sure.
Yeah.
Right after the shot, he was saying, check, check, challenge.
Even Jonah and Remy was actually signaling to the coaches. There was a check ball.
So first challenge to the third set. And Coach Almadro does not want his momentum to stop.
It's a good third set for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Biggest lead of the match at
That's
7
right.
points.
Now, during the first and second set, it was the Petro Gazz Angels was always playing catch-up sa big leads ng Cargo Movers. But this time, they are the ones who has this big lead, and the pressure is now actually on the side of the Cargo Movers. Let's take a look what happened there during the challenge. Is there a block touch?
There is, yeah, clearly.
There is.
On the
pointing
index finger.
Right. Good challenge there by Coach Oliver Almadro.
Successful challenge, and the run continues for the Angels. They are now up by 8 as Myla Pablo checks in for the first time here in the third set. Pablo scoring 1 point in the opening set. She didn't see action in the second set. Let's see if she can be the difference maker for the Cargo Movers here in the third set. Nice serve again. And Pablo gets a touch. Pontillas. Sabete through the block. Oh, wow. The Angels can do no wrong in the third set.
We were talking about the solid first ball of the Cargo Movers as well as their floor defense. But coming into this third set, we're seeing them scramble most of the time for their first ball and floor defense. Kaya naman itong Petro Gazz Angels taking advantage. There's a timeout. Let's listen in.
Kailangan si Miguel napasok lagi na mabilis para malanti yung side. Okay? Dumiskarte yung spikers. Hindi pa rin tawag ng paro lang. Sakto sa mga tao. Gilid-gilid tayo. Ano yan? Drop ball lang mabilis sa gitna. Madami tayo dyan. At mag-block kayo. Let's go! Yes! Gising! Oy, walang papayag! At go!
Believe it or not, That's the last timeout of the Cargo Movers. They have no more timeouts remaining in the third set. They only have 1 point, and they are down by 9.
This is a big lead, definitely, for the Petro Gazz Angels. And looking at the Cargo Movers, it seems like they're just waiting for the Petro Gazz Angels to commit an error for them to get a score. So that's not going to work for their squad.
The only point in the third set for the Cargo Movers coming from Ajoy Baron. Kim Kianadi gets it through. Sabete. She has 11 points for Sabete. Third player in double digits for the Angels. No player in double digits for the Cargo Movers.
And I think the change of height and speed of the set for the Petro Gazz Angels is really working well for them coming into this third set. During the first and second set, Janelle Cheng sets the ball at high yung height niya sa kanyang mga wing attackers. But this time, fast and low sets yung binibigay ni Janelle Cheng sa mga openers niya and even kay Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Kaya nahihirapan makakuha ng block dito ang Cargo Movers.
And the Cargo Movers right now, they're on an odd substitution pattern. Fernandez is in without Kim Fajardo. That hit, it goes outside for Sabete, and they're going to challenge it again because the call is outside. So another challenge. Coach Almadro is feeling lucky. Why not? 10-point lead for the Angels. Who would have thought they'd blow out the Cargo Movers in this way here in the third set?
That's right. And itong Cargo Movers, parang hindi na nakakasabay sa sets ni Janelle Cheng, talking about their blockers and defense pattern as well. And nabanggit nga ni Coach Reg Diego kanina that kailangan nilang daksan din yung palo nila. Hindi lang nila idediretso sa defense ng Petro Gazz Angels kasi nababasa na lahat ng palo nila.
They had a successful challenge earlier. Let's see if they get another one. Angels losing the first set 25-20, but they bounced back in the second set, winning by 3, 25-22. Right now, they're in a good position to win it, up by 10, with the Cargo Movers using up all of their timeouts. 3 players in double digits for the Angels as we take a look at the Sabete shot here. Oof. I don't know. Doesn't look like was there?
I think
wasn't there a touch on the middle finger?
But the challenge says there was no block touch, so that's an unsuccessful challenge there. Okay, Coach Oliver Almadro.
So he has 1 challenge remaining. Still 2 challenges left for the Cargo Movers. 2 points already in this third set for F2, but that's it. No runs at all for the Cargo Movers as Palma puts that one away quickly.
That was a good side out there for the side of the Cargo Movers. If you take a look at the sets of Janelle Cheng for that quick attack for Remy Palma, medyo pasok na sa side ng Cargo Movers. There was only 1 blocker in front of her in Majoy Baron.
10-point lead for the Angels. Jolina De La Cruz, the dig by Soltones. Here comes Sabete again. Oh, Sabete, everything she hits turns into gold. She has 12 points, and this is the biggest lead now for the Angels of 11.
Indeed, the biggest lead for this game. And now Jonah Sabete was actually able to adjust to her attacks because we saw a couple of unforced errors during the first 2 sets coming from the attacks of Jonah Sabete, but this time she spikes the ball at a high range. Kaya naman sa ibabaw lang ng blockers niya tumatama yung attacks ni Jonah Sabete. Na minsan mahirap depensahan pag tumama lang sa blockers yung bola.
You look at the scoreboard and the Cargo Movers, should it say 3 points?
I think that's supposed to be their 3rd point.
3rd point, right? Of the 3 points of the Cargo Movers, only 1 is from an attack. The other 2 are errors. Speaking of, another error from Fernandez.
So the errors are piling up here for the squad for F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. What a lead here by Petro Gazz Angels. 12 big points for this 3rd set.
And Carmel Wu is in the game for the first time, replacing Makandili Katindig as Fernandez with another error. These continue to pile up for the Cargo Movers. What have you noticed as Shona Alvarez now coming in? Coach Diego just drawing on straws, trying to figure out what combination is going to work.
Like what I mentioned during the start of this set, the Cargo Movers are just waiting for the Petro Gazz Angels to commit an error for them to score a point, which will definitely not work for them because they need to work hard to get all points, especially now na ang ganda na talaga ng lalaro ng Petro Gazz Angels. A good end on the second set and a very good start during the third set. So this is going to be a problem for the Cargo Movers.
Another service error for the Angels, and this is the only way the Cargo Movers have been scoring. 3 of the 4 points of F2 have come from errors. There's going to be a challenge here. There's a floor touch challenge already by Coach Almadro. No whistle was blown. The challenge stopped the play.
Actually, they're going to challenge that save from the libero of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers.
Now, Carmel Wu. Yeah, she didn't play in the last game. Carmel Wu didn't play. She was not even in the lineup. She is the wife of former DLSU spiker Raymart Wu.
That's right.
So floor touch challenge. Well, they have one challenge remaining, the Angels. They had one successful and then one unsuccessful challenge early in the third set. Sitting on an 11-point lead here. The biggest lead, I believe, was 13 points. I've been 12 points. I stand corrected. 12 points, biggest lead of the Angels. They're up by 11 now. And Coach Almadro, their team, 2 wins, 1 loss. Their only loss in their first game of the Invitational Conference, as first referee Mary Joy Dimus has a conference.
Ako pumito. Tapos replay. Yung same pa rin. 1 pa rin. Kasi kanina kayo na unsuccessful. So replay. So walang magiging out. Okay. So ano lang, replay. Replay.
All right, so you heard the result of that mini conference with Maranyo, Quintillas, and second referee Herbert Matematico. It's going to be replayed the point. Whatever happens. So it's an inconclusive challenge. They didn't get a shot of it.
But
So
at least they still have one challenge remaining for the set.
Right. So replay the point here. And Job Fernandez, the rookie out of FEU, serving. Sapete, she's done everything so well today, and she gets it off the block touch. 16-4, back to the biggest lead of the Angels of 12 points over the Cargo Movers, set number 3. Mars Alba with 1 point already off 1 attack. 5 excellent sets today after coming up an 18 excellent set performance in that 5-set win. Meantime, her counterpart, Janelle Cheng, has not scored a point yet, but 10 excellent sets so far, doubling the excellent set of Alba. And that's the same amount she had in their last game, the 4-set win against the Farm Fresh Foxies. And right now, though, her team, Jonah Sabete, with that's going to be her second service error, leading in double digits, up by 11. Oh, there's Gemma Galanza preparing for the next game. It's at 4 p.m. First game of your afternoon session. The defending champions will hit the court, taking on the PLDT high-speed hitters. Galdones. Carmel Wu picking it up. Here comes Myla Pablo, rejected by Galdones. Kaselin Galdones with 4 points, her second kill block.
That was a good read on the block from Casey Galdones. Take a look at that. No coverage on the side of the Cargo Movers.
Galdones celebrates her birthday this month, July 29. And she will turn 24. Carmel Wu picking it up. Alba sets it. The short set to Maraño. Nowhere to go. That's Soltones, I believe, will be credited for the kill block. Soltones with 15.
Take a look at this. It was Gretchen Soltones for that kill block. Back-to-back points for the Petro Gazz Angels.
This is their biggest lead at 13 already. Pancake save is no good for Puntillas. But all of the blocks, by the way, of Soltones have been against Maraño today. She has 2 kill blocks, all against Abby Maraño.
Well, that means she's being reading the attacks of Abby Maraño well for this game.
12-point lead, a very comfortable position.
Very, very comfortable.
For the Angels. Janelle Cheng sets it up. Soltones fires one in. Wow. Rachel Soltones now with 16. She had a knee problem 2 conferences ago. It doesn't seem to bother her now. Chi Said is back in the game. Didn't see action in the second set. Biggest lead at 13 right now for the Angels. No more timeouts for the Cargo Movers. Still 2 timeouts remaining and 1 challenge for the Angels. The tip overpassed by Said. Baron will score. Majoy Baron has all of the attack points of the Cargo Movers. That's, well, no, 2 of the 3 attack points of the Cargo Movers. The other one with Myla Pablo. But they've only scored 3 attack points. Cargo Movers. It's just 3 of the 7.
Well, actually, the blockings of the Petro Gazz Angels is really working well for this 3rd set.
Soltones, watch out. No mercy. That's it, Soltones. Back-to-back points. She has 17 already.
Take a look at that angle. Cross-court attack is really her forte, you know, talking about Gretchen Soltones. Ang dami yan ng bola. May sharp cross-court siya and also using the hands of her middle blockers. And not just that, may times din pag nakaharap siya sa cross-court, kaya din niyang dalhin yung bola niya sa down the line.
Almost her second ace, but this is a chance ball for the Angels. Said to the middle. And Puntillas, that was almost a practice shot, but she still gets the point.
Take a look what happened there. Medyo malayo sa left-handy Puntillas, but still, she was able to get that score coming up from the hands of Majoy Baron. So, papansin mo, hindi na naka-establish yung blockings ng Cargo Movers.
And Puntillas used her right hand, by the way.
That's right.
14 attack points for Soltones. What an aggressive afternoon for her. Chance ball for the Cargo Movers. Alvarez passes. Fajardo sets it. Myla Pablo. Soltones with an easy dig.
Oh!
An overpass from Chi Said.
It's actually a miss set from Chi Said.
She wanted to set it as close to the net as possible for Puntillas, but it ended up going across the net.
And actually as fast set, knowing na Aiza Maizo really would want to have fast sets rather than high sets, but medyo malayo lang si Chi Saet.
Fajardo with a dig. Carmel Wu sets it up for Myla Pablo. He gets a little help from the net cord for just the 4th attack point of the Cargo Movers. 5 of their 9 were donations coming from the Angels. That's how tough the points have been to come by for the Cargo Movers here in set number 3. Pontillas, block, single lady block. Shola Alvarez with her first point of the game.
Good timing on the block there from Shola Alvarez. Take a look at this. Ganda nung basa niya sa cross-court attack na yon ni Aiza Pontillas.
Alvarez also scored 1 point against Chocomuche last Tuesday. Sabete, one-handed dig overpass by Myla Pablo, and the dunk. Remy Palma with 9 points already.
There's good anticipation on the over ball from Remy Palma, getting that easy point for the Petro Gazz Angels. A very comfortable 12-point lead here for the 3rd set.
Palma with no aces yet. Looking for her first here. Fajardo. And Majoy Baron with the tip. But for Baron, that's her 10th point. First player in double digits for F2. By the way, no Kim Kiana D in almost the entire second half of this 3rd set. She has really struggled today. As you see, a service ace from Myla Pablo. In the game against Chocomucho, Kim D was 31% from the field. Today, 20%. As service ace Majoy Baron, I stand corrected, with a service ace timeout here for the Angels.
Guys, momentum. Going quartet, going quartet. We have our momentum already. One point at a time lang ate. Let's go. Isang patay agad. Isang patay. Malakas pa ka maging agad. Yeah. If you don't want to be
Well, biggest lead was 13. So a little 3-point run here for the FP Logistics Cargo Movers, and Coach Oliver Almagro burns one of his 2 timeouts. They're 3 points away from winning set number 3. Pontillas, yes! 12 points for Pontillas.
Take a look at that. What a set from Chi Saet. And a down-the-line attack from Aiza Pontillas. A good side out here for the side of the Petro Gazz Angels. Now,
And don't look now, we're seeing Zihar Vasho for the first time today. Zihar Vasho played in just 1 set against Farm Fresh Foxies. She didn't score a point. The former best opposite spiker in the reinforced conference of the PVL in 2019. Shola Alvarez outside.
that was outside. No block touch.
And this is going to be 12. Well, not just yet. The point wasn't awarded because there's a challenge here for F2. A block touch challenge on the hit by Shola Alvarez, so we'll go ahead and check that. But as we have a minute, Paneng, we talked about the shortcomings of F2 in the 3rd set. How about for the Angels? What have they been doing right?
Well, actually, there was a big change of pace in the settings when it comes to Janelle Cheng said distributing the balls to her attackers. Just going back there to the challenge of Coach Reg Diego. That was an unsuccessful challenge. Definitely, there was no block touch. So the point will go to the Petro Gazz Angels. Set point for the Angels. But yeah, talking about the sets of Janelle Cheng, talagang mas mabilis na ngayon, mas mababa. Kaya nahihirapan makasabay yung mga blockers ng F2 Logistics.
12 set points for the Angels. Jump serve for Zihar Vaso, almost an ace. Fernandez, chance to close it out here. Sabete, yes. Jonah Sabete, 14 points. She closed it out for the Angels in the second set, and she did so again here in set number 3.
What a third set here for the Petro Gazz Angels. A good start and definitely a better finish for their squad. Now we'll see if they will be able to close this match in 4 sets.
Very dominant win by the Angels, winning by 13 against F2 in set number 3. New streaming experiences also await via the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for as low as 99 pesos per month. Here's the tally so far, 2 sets to 1. Angels winning the last 2 sets after dropping the first set 20-25. And these highlights will mostly include shots by the Angels, as there have been very few to celebrate about if you're F2.
That's right. It was actually a very dominating set for the Petro Gazz Angels. They had a very good start for that third set. And ang ganda na nung teamwork nila hanggang sa matapos yung third set. Hindi na nakakuha ng madaming puntos dito yung F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, which forced Coach Regine Diego na mag-sub ng kanyang mga players. We saw less times for Ivy Lacsina, Kinkiana D, even Don Macandili Katindig for that third set. And we're looking at the numbers. Look at that attack points. 17 attack points versus 5 ng Cargo Movers. And again, Petro Gazz Angels leading in the blocking department with 4 points versus 2 ng Cargo Movers. Same lang yung errors nila, 4 errors for both squad. But the attack points from the Petro Gazz Angels was really was a lot for that third set. And it was very evident then dahil Janelle Cheng distributing her set to all of her attackers. We saw a lot of points coming from Gretchen Soltones, Jonas Abete, and also Aiza Maiso Pontillas, which caused a lot of problems for the Cargo Movers. So coming into this fourth set, if the Cargo Movers would want to extend this to a 5th set, they have to work really hard and start strong for this set.
A little players-only huddle in the final seconds of this lull in between sets. Abby Maraño very vocal in that huddle. In the meantime, you're looking at the Angels looking to win 3 straight sets after losing the first set. Game face on for Soltones, Galdones, Cheng, Sabete. Meantime, Majoy Baron, she was the only player to really come alive in the third set, scoring 5 of her 6 points in the 5 of her 11 points rather in the third set.
We were talking about the solid first ball and floor defense of the Cargo Movers, but we didn't see that during the third set. nung first two sets, nakakatid pa nila na maayos yung bola nila sa kanilang setter. Kaya naman ang daming na-activate na attackers ni Mars Alba. But coming to the third set, there were a lot of misreceives and out-of-system attacks coming from the Cargo Movers.
And fourth set underway, and Aiza Puntillas immediately puts the Angels on the board. 13 points for Puntillas. And during the Open, we talked about Puntillas in a matchup against Kim Kianadi. Right now, it's a very lopsided matchup. Kim Kianadi only with 4 points. She did not score at all in the third set. Baron continues how she ended the third set. 12 points now for Baron.
As long as they have that good first ball, talking about the Cargo Movers, Mars Alba will be able to set the ball to her middle attackers. So that will be an opportunity to confuse the blockers of the Petro Gazz Angels.
1-all. Set 4, Laxina. Not a good pass there from Puntillas. Underhand set. Sabete and Katindig. Baron plays setter. De La Cruz hits it. Cheng back to Sabete. Through the block of Kim Kianadi as we send it courtside to Alexis Tinsay.
Eric and Paneng, they may have been a set late, but the Petro Gazz Angels are up and running with this latter part of the game. The Petro Gazz Angels had an early morning match last time, and they admitted that it wasn't their best. That is why they wanted to change for today's match, to wake up with pure determination to not just win, but to individually give their best, to double up their points, and to show what Petro Gazz is made of. Lady B's Gretchen Soltones shared to me that even if it's normal to have off days, she believes that there should be no excuses. Let's dive into this match more with the Filipinas Live app, designed to take the game to new heights for just 99 pesos per month. So let's head back to the panel to see who will carry through this fourth set.
All right, thank you, Alexis. 5th point for De La Cruz. She did not score in the second and third set. All of the 4 points prior of De La Cruz in the first set. But Petro Gazz, in that report by Alexis, talking about their game last Tuesday as Sabete knocks in her 16th point. That was a 4-set win. They wanted a 3-set win, obviously. That was against one of the rookie teams, Farm Fresh Foxies. So that's why they're saying, even though it was a win, they were not in their element. What a shot there by Sabete, twisting her body to get the cross-court shot. Angels up by 1. 3 serving 2, set 4. They are up 2 sets to 1. Oh, that's the third service error for Sabete.
This is a better start for the Cargo Movers. Kanina, nung third set, hindi sila nakakasabay sa pace nitong Petro Gazz Angels. But coming into this fourth set, dikit lang yung score natin ngayon. Wala pa nakakalamang ng malaki.
Floating serve coming from D. 3-all. Soltones picked up by D. Back row, Laxina. Dug by Sabete. Puntillas with a tip. Maraño. Mars Alba sets it. De La Cruz blocked by Galdones. Back row, Laxina. Cheng. Sabete. Oh, Katindig with a nice dig, but there's a net violation, I believe, on De La Cruz.
I think it was Abby Maraño. Because she tried to block that pipe attack of Gretchen Soltones.
That was a long rally, too. There's a net touch by Maraño. That gives the lead to the Angels, but only by 1. 4 serving 3. Galdones, she's been serving so well today. Maraño. And makes up for the error with the point to tie it at 4 here in the fourth set. De La Cruz, only 5 points after scoring 11. Her first double-digit performance, that was the 5-set win against Chocomucho last Tuesday. Good pass from Shen Cruz. Soltones blocked. That is not coming back.
That was a good hustle for Shen Cruz.
Well, Cruz is okay. Five, 4, F2. De La Cruz, 24 years old, was the first best outside spiker in UAAP season 85. Service error. There's Cruz Behad, former teammate.
Yes.
Not in the lineup anymore for F2. 5-all in set 4. Angels can close it out here. Nice pass from De La Cruz.
What a set by Mars Alba.
And Laxina gets her 9th point.
So as expected, we will see a very tight fourth set here.
Yeah, but
It was a bad set, the third set for the Cargo Movers. But coming into this fourth set, alam mo na lalaban sila to get this fourth set. That's why we're seeing close scores here.
yeah, much better start for the Cargo Movers. Better defense as well. Chance ball here coming to the Angels. Soltones again.
Oh,
De La
good
Cruz,
cover.
what a save. Another chance ball for the Angels. Combination play. Baron. Alba sets it up. Here comes Laxina. Single blocker. Yes. Oh, great defense by F2. And it started there, and they transitioned to offense with Laxina now in double digits with 10.
Well, you have to give credit also to the save of Jolina De La Cruz. Sa hinabol nila doon ni Abby Maranyo just to get that ball, and a good set from Mars Alba, leaving only one blocker in front of Ivy Laxina for that open set.
A 2-point lead. Oh, but a lot of errors for both teams actually. But if you're F2, you can't afford these, especially in a must-win set like this.
That's right.
Two service errors here in the fourth set for F2. That shot is no good. And Laxina also hit the net. So you picked the violation right there.
She was actually targeting that cross court. It was a missed hit there for Ivy Laxina.
A 2-point lead gone for F2. And they lost it via their errors. Chance to take the lead on the Soltones serve for the Angels. Overpassed. Sabete unable to put it away. Laxina against two blockers. Shen Cruz, pancake save, it's no good. Laxina with 11 points already. That takes us to our first technical timeout. F2 with a precarious 1-point advantage, 8-7 against the Angels, set 4. Back here at the Phil Sports Arena, Mars Alba, as we check out the setters head-to-head matchup. 7 excellent sets here early in set number 4. She also has 2 points, 1 attack point, 1 block point. Aiza Puntillas, 13 points already. Angels up 2-1 after losing in the first set by 5. They bounced back in sets 2 and 3. Angelina De La Cruz with 5 points. And right now a 1-point lead for F2. Set 4. Sapete. Laksina keeping it alive. Going to be a tough get. And that's going to be 4 touches. Another violation for F2, preventing them from pulling away here in set number 4. And Palma already with 9 points. 6 coming from attacks and 3 from kill blocks. D only with 4. Pontilla saving it. What a pass. Oh, everything but the point as Sabete maybe got a little too excited.
It was actually a tough set from Maizo Pontillas. That was a high ball and ang layo ng pinanggalingan niya. It's really hard to time that attack.
So these teams have been scoring via the errors of the other so far here in set number 4. Very few attack points. 9 serving 8. And speaking of errors, another one. Ivy Laksina, that's her first service error. But 3 service errors already for the Cargo Movers here in set 4. So that's 3 of the 9 points of the Angels. Kim Kiana D. Yes, just her 5th point after coming off a 24-point explosion.
Very limited scoring here for Kim Kiana D, but still getting that point coming off from the blocks of Casey Galdones and Jonas Abete.
Cheng, a tip by Galdones, picked up by Alba. Here comes Kim D once again. Cheng unable to save it. Back-to-back points for Kim Kiana D. She now has 6. And if you're an F2 fan, you're hoping she really starts to get hot here in set number 4, because Cargo Movers need her. If they are to win this set 4, it has to be on the shoulders of Kim D. Biggest lead for the Cargo Movers, 11-9 here in set number 4. The push a little too high. That's a lift from Sabete.
Medyo ang layo ng bola sa kanya. Nasa likod na niya. But going for that drop ball will not work for Jonas Abete.
And Coach Almagro calls his first time out. We'll listen in.
Okay? Okay, para makarami tayo dito, ha? Gamit tayo dito. Look, girls! Huwag masyadong tentative, ha? Nag-iingat tayo masyado. Aggressive, pero alam natin yung gagawin. Alam natin kung nasan yung bola. Okay? Gawa na ng paraan, habang sa balikan ng bola. Ate Cheng, ha? Meron tayo dito, Mendo. Expect, hingi ng bola. Come on, let's not wait. Girls, let's put up the intensity now.
On your right is Ricky Palu, president of Sports Vision, a team behind the Premier Volleyball League. And we've got to commend Sir Ricky, Sir Tony Liao. I mean, they've put together a spectacular sporting event, especially after the matches last Tuesday. Capped off by that 5-set win by F2 against Choco Mucho. Here's Soltones as we return to live action. Baron will play center. That's a little too close to the net. Oh, but Kim D starting to come alive here in set number 4, and she has 7 points.
That was a good adjustment on the approach from Kim Kiana D. Like you mentioned, the set was a bit tight for her on the opposite, but still she was able to drop that ball right in between, in the middle of the defense of the Petro Gazz Angels.
Biggest lead of F2 right now. Pancake save by Alba. This is a 4-point cushion for the Cargo Movers. Nowhere to go. Galdones rejected by De La Cruz.
Definitely a good timing on the block from Jolina De La Cruz. Reading that running attack of Galdones properly. Take a look at that.
And De La Cruz, that's going to be her second. Skill block. This is a 5-0 run by F2. De La Cruz. Saltones picking it up. Back row. Alba with a dig. And Kim D. Blocked this time. Alba chasing it down. Laxina with a touch. What a save for Maraño. Chance ball for the Angels. Back row. A tip. Yes! That's going to be a point for Saltones. Her 18th point of the game.
That was a smart play from Gretchen Saltones. Alam niya, nag-scramble pa sa defense itong F2 Logistics cargo movers. That's why going for that drop ball right behind Abby Maraño will really work for them, for her, and for the rest of the squad.
That stops the run. The 5-0 run by F2. And now it's the Angels' turn to get on a run. They're down by 4. Nice serve. De La Cruz through 2 blockers. Janelle Cheng sets it up. Saltones through it. Back-to-back points for Saltones. It's a 2-point run for the Angels.
That was a good defense actually from Jonas Abete, reading the attack of Jolina De La Cruz. Well, that's why Janelle Cheng was able to set that ball to Gretchen Saltones. Ang layo na ng hinabol doon ni Abby Maraño for that cross-court block.
Saltones now with 19. Kim D, single lady block. Saltones now with 20. 4th straight game in double digits for Gretzel Saltones. And a timeout here for the cargo movers. Saltones so good defensively. 3rd block point for her. We'll listen in to the huddle of Coach Diego.
Stop natin agad. Okay? Wala na tayong next. Pagka relax na naman tayo, kailangan understand? Laban nyo lang. Girls, wala na tayo. Wala na magpahabol. Wala na magpahabol. F2!
Cargo movers on the business end of this 3-point run by the Angels. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. There's Coach Aaron Velez. Earlier, they got the win, by the way, against Jerflor. (12 serving 14, set number 4. Angels up 2-0. Bad received by Laxina. This is going to be a free ball. Where does Cheng go? Back to Saltones. She has the hot hand and she continues to score. The last 3 points of the Angels have come from Gretzel. She has 21 already.
21 big points from Gretchen Saltones. This is actually smart volleyball coming from her. Pero iniiba niya yung variations ng attack niya. Down the line, cross court, and even drop ball. Kaya nahihirapan na makabasa ng defense itong F2 Logistics cargo movers.
And Sabete has been serving so well.
That's right.
1-point game. Kim D gets it through. Stops the run of the Angels at 4 points.
Take a look at this attack from Kiana. Ibabaw kay Gretchen Saltones. Ang taas ng daan na yon ng palo niya.
Kim D with 8. After a 24-point performance against Chocomucho.
Oh!
Oh, katindig. What a dig. De La Cruz.
What a dig by Sabete also.
Saltones again. Gretzel Saltones unstoppable here in set number 4. She has 22 points.
Well, she knows that Katindig is in the cross-court waiting for her attack. So that's a smart move there by Saltones. Using the hands of Mars Alba for that down-the-line attack. Easy point for her and the rest of the squad.
A 1-point game, chance to tie. Galdones, she has also been serving so well today. Good pass, though. Coming from De La Cruz, she gets it back. De La Cruz will score. And it's back to a 2-point lead. De La Cruz with 7. Second technical timeout, set number 4. Back here at the Phil Sports Arena after winning the first set by 5. Cargo Movers have lost the last 2 sets. The third set, they were blown out, losing by 13 points. Meanwhile, Gretchen Sotones, Aiza Puntillas, they've won the last 2 sets. And this set 4, they can put it away. Mars Alba, the rookie setter, with 7 excellent sets as of yet. And Sotones, a big 22-point performance, and we're not even done yet. Jelena de la Cruz with 7 points, 4 attacks, and 3 blocks. There it is. 2-point lead for the Cargo Movers. Bad pass. Dump by Palma is good. Rem Palma. That's going to be 10 points for her. She is the 4th player in double digits for the Angels.
That was a good running attack by Remy Palma. She wasn't able to spike that ball. Actually, she dropped the ball lang sa gilid ni Abby Maraño, who went for that block. Kaya naman a miscommunication there on the defense kay Mars Alba and KKD.
Alba to Maraño. That's too low. And that lead of F2 is gone. 2 straight points after the technical timeout for the Angels, and we're tied at 16. Off camera, we saw momentarily Kim Fajardo and Elaine Casilag were about to check in. Casilag for the first time, but they were turned away by Coach Diego. Not yet, she says. Laxina against 2 blockers, fires one in. Laxina now with 12.
What an attack there by Ivy Laxina. Ngayon pinapalo na lang niya yung bola sa ibabaw ng blockers. Now take a look at that. There was actually a gap in between Remy Palma and Maizo Pontillas, but from our angle, ang taas ng contact ni Ivy Laxina sa attack.
Pontillas. Maraño back to Laxina. And Cheng to Soltones. Why not? Good set, Soltones, 23 points, and the game is tied again. And if you're F2, you've got to wonder, how do we stop Soltones? Now she's in the back row, so obviously less of a threat. But don't ever count out the 3-time NCAA MVP.
That's right, but still 3 front rows for the side of the Petro Gazz Angels. Aiza Maizo Pontillas, Remy Palma, and Jonas Abete in the front row for their squad.
Chance ball here, that's outside the push. And don't look now, Angels back on top, 18-17. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. And they still have 2 challenges each. Coach Diego looking intently. Soltones, great serve. Baron, yes! F2 needed that point. And Baron with 13. And Coach Almadro pacing the sideline. And both these teams trading big shot after big shot. Biggest lead here in set 4. 5 points for F2. Pontillas block. And F2 back on top. 2 straight points for the Cargo Movers.
Back-to-back points from Majoy Baron. First coming off from a quick attack, and this time a good block there from Majoy Baron for that Aiza Maizo Pontillas opposite attack.
14 points for Baron. That's going to be her 3rd kill block. Oh! Baron starting to wax hot late in set number 4. Majoy Baron, 15 points, her 4th block. 2nd of a back-to-back, and F2 is back up by 2.
Malalaki. So pag out of system, dalawa agad na malaki yan. So kailangan tsagain natin. Tsagain, tapos tuloy tayo malaki eh. Kailangan cover natin sa ilalim, malalaki ngayon eh ha. Naka-counter tayo, kaya lang kailangan natin tsagain sa cover. Pag out of system, dalawang malaki kagad yun. So kailangan tayo mag-isip ha. Okay. Girls, positive din, nakaka-receive tayo ha. Come on!
Ate, coverage! Taga tayo sa coverage!
Girls, This is the Lord's battle. So, tsagayin natin, ha? Tsagayin natin. Trust each other. Trust each other. This is Lord's battle now. Let's go.
Coach Almadro going a little profound. There's Iris Tolonada. Not in the lineup, but still part of the team of the Cargo Movers. No more timeouts remaining for the Angels. Still one timeout left for the Cargo Movers. They are up by 2. Mars Alba serving 20-18 set 4. Bad pass by Shen Cruz. Gonna be a chance ball here for the Cargo Movers. Kim D. Dug by Cheng. Pontillas through the block. Yes. Aiza Pontillas now with 14.
It's a good attack there by Maizo Pontillas using the hands of Ivy Laxina. But Coach Oliver acknowledging the tall blockers of the Cargo Movers for this rotation. They have Laxina, Majoy Baron, and Kim Kiana D. So the spikers of the Petro Gazz Angels should be smarter this time. Use the hands of their blockers or drop the ball in the middle of their defense.
Service long for Palma. That's her 3rd service error. Not the kind of serves you want if you're the Angels. Shola Alvarez checks in for Laxina. Alvarez, 1 point. Scored in set number 3. Former heavy bomber of JRU. Shola Alvarez with a serve into the net. If you're the Angels, you're breathing a huge sigh of relief. An easy point, and they can get a chance to tie. Substitution for Coach Almadro as you look at Coach Diego. Fixing the hair. Here's Saet returns. Hervasio comes back. Chi Saet has not scored in the game. Neither has Zihar Vasho. Chance to tie here on a nice serve from Saet.
Oh!
Miscommunication there. De La Cruz fires one in. Oh, what a shot for Jolina De La Cruz on a broken play. De La Cruz with her 8th point, and it's back to a 2-point lead for F2.
That was almost a miscommunication between Mars Alba and Don Katindig. But still, Jolina De La Cruz getting a point from that out-of-system play.
Saet, Sabete, yes! Jorna Sabete, and now with 17. It's a 1-point game again.
This is a very close first set since the beginning until now, the latter part. Almost the end part of the 4th set.
But it's been the Angels that have been playing catch-up most of this last part of set 4.
Oh, that's a tight set.
Hervasio, there's a violation against F2. And their lead is gone again. Angels have tied it up at 22. There is a foot fault challenge. That's the first challenge of set number 4. The foot fault was called by our second referee, Herbert Mathematico.
So that was coming off from a very tight set for the opposite side of the Cargo Movers.
F2 undefeated coming into today's game. They are 3-0 in Pool B and going up against another Pool B team with a 2-win, 1-loss record in the Angels. A win here by the Angels will tie them with F2 at 3-1. Here's the official review.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Clearly a foot fault there from Kiana. Unsuccessful challenge for Coach Verdine Diego.
So they have one more challenge remaining for Coach Almadro. They still have 2 challenges left. A chance to take the lead and go for the jugular if you're the Angels. Sabete with 17. Good pass.
Oh, what a set!
De La Cruz against Herbacio. She scores and puts F2 back on top. And here's that substitution we were talking about. Fajardo checking in with Elaine Casilag. Casilag seeing action for the first time today. Casilag did not play versus Chocomucho. Only signed by F2, Casilag, September of last year. Fajardo, no point, no ace yet.
Oh! What a time to commit a service error. Now we're tied at 23.
Heather Ginoo checking in for the first time today. 5 service errors in set 4 for F2.
Those are 5 free points for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Big serve.
Big serve indeed.
Heather Ginoo also did not play for the Angels in their 4-set win against Farm Fresh last Tuesday. Oh, nice serve. De La Cruz. Oh, what a save from Sabete. Chance ball for the Cargo Movers. They go back to Jolina. Another great save by the Angels. Ziher Basho sends it across. Fajardo sets it up. Casilag. Sayed. Oh, Ram Palma for the lead. And the match point. Angels.
What a quick set there by Chi Sayed. Definitely she heard Remy Palma shouting for that set because she was ready for that back quick. Ate Marano was already committing to the open attacker. That's why leaving no blockers there for Remy Palma.
11 points for Palma. Timeout F2. All right, that's the last timeout of the Cargo Movers. An error at any point from here on in means the first loss of F2 in the Invitational Conference.
That's right, and you have to give credit also to the defense of the Petro Gazz Angels. The last 2 attacks of the Cargo Movers, we thought that they were able to get that point, but grabe yung sipag sa depensa nitong Petro Gazz Angels.
That's true. Another great serve.
Oh!
No! Match point lost off a service error by Heather Ginoo, and the crowd goes wild inside the Phil Sports Arena.
But that was a good timeout from Coach Redeem Diego, killing the momentum of the serve of Heather Ginoo.
All right, so big serve for De La Cruz. De La Cruz, no aces yet. She has 1 service error already. 24 all, set 4. Petro Gazz up 2 sets to 1. Sayed.
Oh.
Yes!
We're seeing good connection here between Chi Sayed and Remy Palma. A good substitution from Coach Oliver Almagro, activating Remy Palma at the latter part of this set. It was a misreceive actually, but she was still able to set that ball in the quick to Remy Palma, getting that point for their squad.
What a really arrow of a set coming from Chi Sayed. Janelle Cheng is back. Palma with 12 points. Second match point for the Angels. Laxina blocked by Pontillas. Fajardo through the middle. Marano saves a match point.
That was a good check from Remy Palma, but Shen Cruz was a bit too far for that long ball.
Remember, F2, they saved 2 match points against Chocomucho. They did again here in set number 4. Do they have another match point to save? Cheng, overpass. Oh! Majoy Baron dumping the overpass. 16 points for Baron. And the first set point for F2 here in the fourth.
Now we know Abby Maraño is a steady server for the Cargo Movers.
No aces yet for Maraño. One service error.
Better first ball.
Soltones. That is on the line. Soltones saving the set point. We're tied at 26. What a shot, Soltones. Now at 24. 26 all. 2 match points lost by the Angels. 1 match point or set point lost by F2. Soltones has an ace.
Good save here by Jolina and a free ball.
Oh, it's going to be outside. So that's the second ace of Soltones and the third match point for the Angels. 27-26. Chance again for the Angels to give the Cargo Movers their first loss of the Invitational Conference. Good serve. Laxina pushes, scores! Match point number 3, saved again by F2.
It's a good target from Ivy Laxina. It was not that strong, but that was a good placement of the attack. Sakto down the line. There was no defense there for the side of the Petro Gazz Angels.
Mars Alba and Kim D back in the game, 27 all. Set 4. F2 down 2 sets to 1. Pontillas, yes! And the Angels have match point number 4.
Well, Pontillas is still in the front row, so you will expect more sets for her.
Pontillas now with 15 points. Remy Palma serving. Palma, no ace. 3 service errors for Palma in the game. She serves it safely. Gonna be a chance ball here for the Angels. They can close it out here. They have match point. Pontillas off the chest of Katindig.
Free ball.
Another chance ball. Cheng. Sabete with a push. Alba with a save. Katindig to Laxina. Oh, Ivy Laxina saves set point and match point number 4.
Grabe yung
Wow.
depensa dito ng Cargo Movers.
Can you believe it? 4 match points
That's
saved
right.
by F2. 1 set point saved by the Angels. We're tied at 28. Ivy Laxina with 14 points. Laxina, remember, coming off a 4-point performance against Choco Mucho. Cheng, back to Pontillas. De La Cruz, chance ball. Cheng, too tight. Oh, but Pontillas pushes it through against the rookie De La Cruz. And Pontillas with 16 points. There is a challenge. A net touch against Pontillas. We'll have to check and see. They still have 1 challenge remaining.
That's right.
F2. They might as well use it.
And it might be possible because that set from Janelle Cheng was a bit tight for that opposite attack kay Pontillas.
If the challenge is unsuccessful, this is going to be the 5th match point for the Angels. If they are successful, they will get their second. Oh, there it is.
There is. What a time to challenge that ball. And again, the coaches of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers using their challenge during this crucial last part of the 4th set.
So they still have 1 challenge remaining. And F2 back at set point. This is their second set point. Puntillas, block. Cruz picking it up. Puntillas again, single blocker. It is outside.
Oh, but there was a net touch call by our second referee.
And another net touch challenge. Herbert Matematico, our second referee, calling a net touch against De La Cruz. They still have one challenge remaining. Let's see if the Cargo Movers will once again be saved by the challenge.
But sometimes, pag sobrang bilis na ng mga transitions, if you're playing inside the court, hindi mo na nafe-feel na nakakommit ka na ng mga errors.
F2, their perfect record on the line today. They've saved 4 match points so far. All right, let's see. De La Cruz. Yep.
Yep,
There's a net touch. So unsuccessful challenge for the Cargo Movers. They have no challenges remaining. Petro Gazz still has 2 challenges left. So a set point saved. We're tied at 29. What a thriller to end set number 4. Kim D, block. The free ball. Angels, what do? Sultan, make that Sabete. That's Doug. Kim D again. Pontillas, Cheng to the back row. Sultanes. Kim D. Another free ball. Cheng, back to Sabete. That's outside. No, wait a minute. There's a block touch going to be called against F2. No more challenges for F2. So Petro Gazz has their 5th match point. 30-29. Pontillas with the serve. Alba to Kim D. Kim D blocked, it goes outside.
That was outside. A good read there by Kiana.
Match point saved again by the Cargo Movers. 30 all, set 4.
We saw a lot of free balls coming from the Cargo Movers, but the Petro Gazz Angels was having a hard time to convert those points. Kaya we're seeing a lot of transition plays here.
Sabete rejected. And Maraño with her 8th point. That is her first, believe it or not, first kill block of the game. And this is the 3rd set point for the Cargo Movers. Shen Cruz, bad pass. Pontillas. Kim D. Shen Cruz picking up the second touch. Chance ball for F2. Mars Alba goes to the middle. Single lady block. Casey Galdones rejecting the veteran. 3rd kill block for Galdones. And a set point save by the Angels. This is the 21st deadlock of set number 4.
What a big block there by Casey Galdones. One-on-one there for the quick attack of Abby Maraño.
Sabete has 3 service errors, no aces. De La Cruz. Sabete with the dig. Sotones. Alba with the first touch. Katindig will set it. De La Cruz through the double block. Oh! Set point number 4 for F2.
After that point, I saw Jolina De La Cruz shouting at Mars Alba, "Iset mo sa akin yung bola." So you really could feel the intensity of these players inside the court. A super extended 4th set.
32 serving 31. Shen Cruz. Cheng. Soltones. Block. It goes outside. Set point save. Soltones now with
for Remy Palma. That will leave Gretchen Soltones with an open block. But what a service error there by Casey Galdones, giving the set point advantage to the Cargo Movers.
5th set point for F2. That is off the first service error of Galdones. De La Cruz, no aces, 1 service error. Not a good pass there by Cruz. The push, Soltones.
Oh,
Alba, Cruz, Soltones once again. Oh! That's Soltones, 26 points.
what a sharp cross-court attack there by Gretchen Soltones. Take a look at this. Ang nipis ng daan niya, ng bola niya, the cross-court. Katindig wasn't able to get that defense.
5th set point save. That's 26 points now for Soltones. Great serve from Cheng. Katindig will set it for Laksina. Dug by Sabete.
Good chase there by Cheng.
Soltones off speed. Makandili
Overboard.
Katindig. Oh, bodies on the floor. Chance ball for the Angels. Cheng. Here go to Pontillas. It's outside.
Yeah, that's outside.
But there's going to be a ball-in, ball-out challenge here. Angels with 2 challenges remaining. Right now, we're still at 33 all. 23rd deadlock of the set. But a successful challenge here by the Angels will put them at match point again. While if they're unsuccessful, F2 gets another set point. This should be a fairly quick one. It was clearly out. So, 6th set point for F2. Still 1 challenge remaining for the Angels. Good pass. That shot is out for Palma, and that's it. On the 6th set point, F2 Logistics survive a scary 4th set. And 5 match points as well. And F2 back to another 5th setter when we return right here on Pilipinas Live. New streaming experiences also await via the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for as low as 99 pesos per month. And You take a look at the tally, 2 sets each. What a bounce back after losing by 13 in set number 3. A 2-point win, 35-33 in set number 4 for the Cargo Movers as we look at the highlights of this 23 deadlock set.
Well, definitely we expected na babawi itong Cargo Movers coming into the 4th set, and we saw them really play way better than their 3rd set performance. And until sa latter part of that 4th set, nakita mo yung kapit na meron itong Cargo Movers. Kaya naman itong Petro Gazz Angels, it was a tough set for them. They saw the Cargo Movers gave a lot of free balls to the Petro Gazz Angels, but they weren't able to convert those points dahil mas maganda yung depensa na pinapakita nitong Cargo Movers. And take a look at the statistics. 2-point difference lang on the attacks na lamang ang Cargo Movers, but the blocks for the first 3 sets si Petro Gazz ang nakakuha na mas madaming block points, but coming in that 4th set, the Cargo Movers had 6 block points. No service aces, but though the Cargo Movers had more errors because there were a lot of miscommunications in the overballs and even sa service the latter part of that 4th set, but they were still able to get more block points, especially during that last part of the 4th set. So coming into this 1st set, whoever gets the momentum and a good start as early as the first half of the 5th set might have a bigger chance of winning this game.
Angels had 5 match points in the set number 4. Meantime, Maraño and the Cargo Movers won via their 6th set point. Soltones, monster game, 26 points for her today. De La Cruz with 10. Second game in double digits for Julina De La Cruz, coming off an 11-point performance. Pontillas with 15. She had 15 as well in the 4-set win against Farm Fresh Foxies. Sabete with 18, coming off a 4-point game against the Foxies. Set number 5 just about to get underway right here at the Phil Sports Arena on a rainy Thursday. Second game of your quadruple header, but the last game of the morning session. It's the same starting lineup for both teams. 3 players now in double digits for the Cargo Movers. Kim D, not one of them. She only has 9 points. 4 players in double digits. Meantime, for the Angels, Soltones, Pontillas, Palma, and Sabete. What a set 4 we went through. And second back-to-back 5-setter for the Cargo Movers, and they get a leg up here in set number 5 off a service error by Janelle Cheng. One, 0, F2. Alba, no aces yet. She has 2 points. Cheng, Palma rejected. Off speed from Soltones. A little too close to the net. That's a block against Baron by Palma. Cheng. Back row. There's a block touch. Nope. And Sabete sends it outside.
She was way under the ball for that back row attack, talking about Jonah Sabete. Now giving an early lead here for the Cargo Movers.
All of the points of F2 here in set number 5 coming from errors by Petro Gazz. 8 excellent sets for Alba, coming off 18 excellent sets against Choco Mucho. Pontillas in the middle, block. First block point here in set number 5 for the Cargo Movers. They are up 3-0, an early timeout here for Coach Almadro. We will listen in to the Angels.
Okay? Kasi pag sa gitna, malalaki tatlong first station nila yan. Okay? Hey, girls, look ha, again, hindi natin kinakailangan sagasaan yan. So we have to vary. Pangalawa, ask for the pins. And pag nasa atin ang ball out of position, tiyagain natin. Nakuha natin kanina sa tiyagaan eh. So huwag tayong mag-expect na isang palo natin pupuntos kagad. Kailangan tiyagaan. Okay? So yun tayo ha. Ate, hiwalay tayo. Hiwalay ha. Let's go.
Sorry po natin.
No points yet in the fifth set for the Angels. And 2 of the 3 points of the Cargo Movers have been donations from Petro Gazz. Nice short serve come from Mars Alba. Kim D. Soltones, cross court, Katindig with a dig. Laksina.
Oh,
Cut
what an
shot.
angle.
Yes, Ivy Laksina. And now has 15 points. 4-0 start for F2 here in the fifth set. Let's check in with Alexis Tinsay.
Eric and Paneng, match point after match point. Coach O reminded the Angels na kapag out of system na ang gameplay ng Cargo Movers, walang dapat gawin kung hindi pagtiyagaan in both mental control and team communication. With an overextended fourth set, the Angels know the set they were supposed to win, if not for their errors. Kaya ang sabi ni Coach O, the responsibility lies within you girls and you only. Tingnan natin kung paano may papakita ng Angels ang maturity na kanilang consistent key factor in winning back to the panel.
All right, thank you, Alexis. They had 5 match points in set number 4, the Angels, but they lost them all. Soltones drills in just the first point of the Angels in set 5.
That was actually a low set from Chisaet, but Majoy Baron was late for that cross-court block. That's why that was an easy point for Gretchen Soltones.
1 serving 4. A rare bad receive coming from Katindig. That is outside from Kim D, who just got into double digits with 10 points. Now 4 players in double digits as well for F2.
We saw an early substitution from the side of the Petro Gazz Angels. Coach Oliver bringing in Chisaet, substituting for Janelle Cheng.
Serve is outside for Soltones. Well, both teams with a more lethargic start here after that thrilling end to the set 4. Both teams conserving their energy for the latter part of this fifth set for sure. Sabete. Kim D. That's dug by Pontillas. There's a block against Palma. Alba. De La Cruz, that's too low. What a save for De La Cruz though in midair. Alba with a dig. Kim D. Oh, what a rally. Can't believe these girls still have the energy. And Pontillas with the attack error. Third attack error for Pontillas. And it's a 4-point lead for the Cargo Movers. Sabete, dug by Laksina. Here comes De La Cruz. Pontillas. There's a net touch. De La Cruz.
It's a 3-point lead for the Cargo Movers. Malapit lang to kung tutusin. Dahil kanina, yung Petro Gazz Angels naghahabol ng as much as 7 points. Nakaka-tie pa sila sa score nitong Cargo Movers.
Palma with double-digit scoring so far, 12 points.
Oh, what a set.
Palma picking it up, side underhand set. Sabete, wow. That was long, and yet she got the better of one of the best liberos in the Philippines.
It's actually a good target from Jonas Abede, targeting zone 6 of the defense of the cargo movers. Kaya ang layo nito ni Katindig for that defense.
19 points for Sabete. Kindi, block. Great defensive play at the net by the Angels. Galdones. That's going to be her 6th point, 4th kill block, and a timeout here for F2.
Safety mo, open ka ng kapal, or close, whatever it is. Basta, mag-connect naman sa'yo. Kaya na, ikaw ang magte-dress. Okay, sino may isa? Ako. Ikaw, pwede kang mag-run. Naintindihan nyo? O, di ba, may play na tayo? Now, we have to pasa. Lahat ng serve naman nila kayo, short or long, pero magaan. Kailangan nyo lang basahin lang. Okay? Gusto nyo naman ito. One side or second. Oh, natin ito ba?
F2 led by as many as 4 points. And now Angels with a chance to tie on the serve by Palma. Sabete with 19. And Galdones with 6. Palma with 12. Galdones is the leading blocker in this game with 4. Palma second with 3, along with Soltones. Our technical committee checking, I believe, the position here of the cargo movers, which is causing a little bit of a delay after the timeout by F2. I think it's a mess right now because looking at the faces of the officials, seems to me like they can't believe they didn't spot an error or something to that effect. Okay, our second referee gets in on the act. Herbert Matematico, our second referee, checking the log. Sir Tony Liao, right there at the middle of your screens, our tournament director, checking out what's going on here. Well, it's not like the girls don't need the rest. They can afford, they can certainly afford a few minutes of breathing time because of what went down in set number 4.
That's right.
In case you're just catching up with us, to recap, the Angels were at match point 5 times and lost it. Meanwhile, the F2 cargo movers had to use up 6 set points to win it and extend this match into a 5th and deciding set. Coach Almadro, they could have given Coach Diego their first loss in set number 4, but now they're going to have to go the long way. Now Herbert Matematico, second referee, going up to our first referee, Joy De Imus. Maraño is right there with him. We'll listen in.
So, rectified na. The numbers like that.
Labas mo na si Libero tsaka si Mano.
Tama na.
Pero wala namang.
Wala namang.
All right, so you guys heard it. They're just going to correct something that went wrong several sequences ago. So they're going to have to readjust. And no penalties will be awarded. Now, Herbert Matematico, our second referee, still, you can see them, or him, at the right side of your, or left side of your screen, still directing the position for the cargo movers. Finally steps back, and I think we're all set. Well, almost.
It's still the same during the previous position of the cargo movers. There was no errors in the rotation.
All right. Okay, they can't go just yet. They're still deliberating something. So, a 1-point lead here for F2. They had a 4-point lead early here in set number 5, but the Angels on a bit of a run here. Now, obviously, this long lull is to the detriment of the Angels. They had momentum prior to this long break.
Especially Remy Palma will now go in the service area.
This is going to be her 4th straight serve, if I'm correct. So she's probably gone cold there already. And technical committee is still talking. Well, finally they're done with Herbert Matematico. I don't know what the decision is going to be. Okay, so manager Diem was now speaking to Sabete, or make that Saet and Kim D.
Nakita, nung last point, bakit nabawasan?
Yeah, because the point will now go to Petro Gazz Angels. They will be now up by 1 point.
And now the coaching staff of F2 on their feet. Assistant coach Benson is speaking to the technical committee now. They're arguing that a point shouldn't have been taken away. Coach Almadro is smiling. The shot we have of him is at the back. All right, so apparently we're not yet done.
The side of the cargo movers, they were contesting that the point should stay with them. Hindi na baliktad. Because kanina, they were up by 1 point. They were the first one who got 6 points.
Tapos 5 score.
All right, now Kim D. Chisaet again speaking to manager Dimus.
Correction pa dun. Pero para sa akin, walang bawas, same score, tapos punto sa inyo. Okay. Okay, ayos na. All 6.
All right, manager Dimus saying it should be 6-all. So no point will be taken away from the cargo movers, but the Angels will gain a point.
Because if there was indeed a misposition or maybe a wrong server, the referee should have called it earlier.
Okay, so the point is now on the board. We're tied at 6.
We're tied at 6, that's right.
All right, so no more lead for the cargo movers, and I think we're just about ready to go here. And finally, this is the closest we've been to fixing it in a while. But some finishing touches by tournament director Tony Liao and the members of the technical committee, so we're still not able to get going. Herbert Matematico, our second referee, saying, giving the thumbs up already. We should be able to go now, but and Herbert Matematico wants to get it going without the technical committee's go signal.
And now he got the go signal.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Because this is a very important point.
That's true. I think we're good to go. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, we got the go signal.
All right, 6-all, fifth set. And Palma continues to serve. How will that lull affect her? No problem, says Rem Palma. Here comes De La Cruz with the left hand. Hit the antenna. And the Angels on top for the first time in the fifth set. 7-6. That was a big point.
Actually, that was a long lull for both squads. So whoever got that momentum in the first half of this fifth set, medyo kailangan nila uli ibalik yung momentum na yon and yung intensity nila.
Now, instead of just being tied, Angels on top after getting awarded the point of a positional error by the Cargo Movers. There's a push, and Kim D ties the game at 7. Kim D now with 11.
Then take a look at that drop ball.
Majoy Baron serving 7-all. That's outside.
It's way outside.
Majoy Baron, that's going to be her first service error. Teams will change ends here in the fifth set. Cargo Movers, they have their perfect record on the line. 3-0 coming into today's game. Meanwhile, the Angels looking for their third straight win after losing the first game of the Invitational Conference. Janelle Cheng set to check in for the Angels, replacing Chisait. Janelle Cheng has not scored in today's game, but she has double-digit excellent sets so far. Pontilla, as you see her numbers. Angels up by 1, 8-7, fifth set. It's taking a while to check the positions to make sure that doesn't happen again. So now we get going after the switching of sides. Kim D, down by Pontillas. Here comes Sabete. Oh! Sabete right in your face, says Kim D.
Big block there by Kiana D. Perfectly timing the attack of Jonas Sabete.
12 points for Kim D. And the dual sub, as you see the block there of Fajardo and Pablo come in for F2. Fajardo looking for her first ace, has one service error. Eight all, and probably the longest fifth set we've ever seen. Bad pass there. A chance ball here for F2. Fajardo, the push by Maraño.
Oh, tight set.
Sabete, and Katindig was right there for the dig. And Laxina, this is an easy over. Cheng, back row. Overpass from Laxina. 1-2 play for Cheng. What a save by Katindig again. The tip is good.
Clearly a big miscommunication there on the side of the Petro Gazz Angels. That was a free ball coming from Avi Maraño's drop ball. Sakto lang in between 4 players of Petro Gazz Angels.
Maraño with 9. If she gets 10, she'll be the 5th player in double digits for F2. Combination play, Sabete drills it in. Sabete now at 20. And this is now the 4th deadlock of the 5th set. 9 all. Take a look at Sabete. What a nice set by Cheng, too. Keeping it away from the blockers of the Cargo Movers. Pablo, dug by Sabete. Here comes Soltones. Yes! Soltones now with 28.
Now, a smart attack there by Gretchen Soltones, delaying her approach and contact. Take a look at that, waiting for the hands of Jolina de la Cruz and swiping it off the block.
Back-to-back points for the Angels. And they're up by one, 10-9. Fifth set. Great serve. Fajardo. De la Cruz unable to get it across the net. That was called a block for the Angels. 3 straight points for Petro Gazz, forcing F2 to call a timeout.
Lagyan nyo naman ng height. Okay, may kailangan mo ilaban. Malamig or not, kailangan to. Naintindihan? Ang plane na lang nila is open. Kung saan na lang safe. Like ours. Okay? Kailangan ko lang lalaban. Gusto ko lang manalo. Wala naman tayo. Atin to, let's go! Laban tayo, laban!
Biggest lead for the Angels right now. And Coach Diego talking to Alba. One-on-one. That's the last timeout, by the way, for F2. Two setters on the floor for F2. Alba, Fajardo, both in the game. Sabete serving. She has no aces yet. Interesting lineup here for the Cargo Movers. Let's see what they do. Fajardo will be the setter. They go to Alba. Alba attacks. Cheng, underhand pass. Soltones through the double block. Yes! Gretchen Soltones with 30.
30 big points for Gretchen Soltones. The blockers of the Cargo Movers are having a hard time to read her attacks. And a very smart volleyball here that we're seeing from Gretchen Soltones.
4-0 run for the Angels. And they are up with their biggest lead in the fifth set. Not a good receive there from Laxina. Alba will attack the push. Pontillas picks it up. Soltones from the middle. There's a net touch going to be called against F2. And the run continues. 5 straight points for the Angels. There's going to be a challenge here for F2. They have no more timeouts remaining. There's a net touch challenge.
Our second referee saw that net touch violation from Abby Maraño, but the side of the Cargo Movers, the coaching staff will challenge that call. Very crucial.
Yeah. Can they be saved again by the challenge? We saw they got saved again in set number 4 today. And that's what happened. Under by 2 match points against Chocomucho last Tuesday, they got saved by challenges. Not the case now in the fifth set. There's a clear touch by Maraño. So the run is at 5 straight points now for the Angels. Unsuccessful challenge for F2. And this is now a 4-point lead for Petro Gazz. They're 2 points away from giving F2 their first loss of the conference. Great serve. Bad receive coming from De La Cruz. Broken play. Chance ball here for the Angels. Soltones. What a dig from Katindig. Alba again the attacker. Cheng. Soltones with a push. Alba right there. What a save by Katindig. Soltones again through the double block. And net touch going to be called on Soltones. There's going to be a challenge here for sure, this time by Petro Gazz, because Soltones was adamant sila ang nag-touch ng net.
She was pointing at Jolina De La Cruz, who committed that net touch violation. But going back to that last sequence, if you look at the cargo movers, they were having a lot of miscommunication inside the court because a while ago we saw Kim Fajardo inside the court. That makes her the center. And now Alba is supposed to be the center, but they weren't able to switch in the right position.
So that two-center experiment for Coach Diego backfired. They were not able to stop the run of the Angels. 5 unanswered points for Petro Gazz to put them ahead by 4. And if the challenge is successful, this is going to be 6 match points for Petro Gazz. Sorry, 5 match points. Again, Soltones was saying it was De La Cruz who touched the ball, or touched the net, but Herbert Matematico was the second referee who made the call saying Soltones touched the net. The challenge coming from Petro Gazz. They still have 2 challenges remaining. F2, no more challenges and no more timeouts. Meanwhile, the Angels still have 2 timeouts remaining. This is taking a while, this challenge.
Yeah. This is the second long lull for this set.
Well, officials just want to ensure that all the correct calls are made. A crowd getting antsy here. The second game of our morning session has dug well into mid-afternoon already. It's 3:19. This is more than a 3-hour game already.
That's right.
And it doesn't look like there's any finality to this challenge just yet. Officials are still taking a look at it. A challenge team as well. Very important point, because again, if Soltones did not touch the net, they're going to be at
Match point.
match point. That's going to
right.
be 5 match points. And that's totally different from the 5 match points they had in set number 4, where they only had 1 match point each 5 times. This is 5 whole match points together. So that's a totally different story and different position if you're Petro Gazz. All right. Net touch. They're looking at the bottom. Yeah, it seems like, was it De La Cruz?
It was, I think it was Abby Maraño, the middle blocker in the front row.
So there's a net touch
On the side of the cargo movers.
but they're saying unsuccessful challenge. They're saying it was the knee of Abby Maraño.
Yeah, because Coach Oliver was challenging the net touch violation called on Gretchen Soltones.
That's right. So if that's on the knee, was it? I want to ask you, Paneng, as Coach Almado is right in front of us.
That's right.
Was it definitive? I mean, seeing you saw the replay, Paneng. Was it definitive that it was the knee of Maraño?
Yeah, for me, from that angle, it was the knee of Abby Maraño because nasa baba na si Gretchen Soltones bago after makumit yung violation.
So So that's what Coach Almagro is trying to explain. I don't know if the officials are looking at him like they don't know what he's talking about. So I don't know if they're on the same page with this challenge. All right, it seems like now the officials are starting to figure it out. At the right side of your screens, you can see Tournament Director Tony Liao talking to our referees and the challenge team.
But the question now, who committed the net violation first? Because there could be a net violation on top of the net. So we didn't see that during the video challenge.
But the challenge should be whether or not Soltones touched the net, right? It doesn't matter who else touched it, but if she didn't touch it, it should be a successful challenge here for Petro Gazz. It doesn't really matter if Maraño touched it, as long as Soltones didn't touch it.
That's right.
Because that was the challenge by Petro Gazz, that Soltones didn't touch it. So if it's clear that Soltones didn't touch it, that ought to be a successful challenge.
But we didn't see the angle on top of the net.
That's true, though.
Because Gretchen Soltones went for that drop ball.
That's true.
So maybe that's the one that our second referee saw, but weren't able to check it in the challenge system.
Well, they're still looking at it now, so they're still not anywhere close to a decision here. Janelle Cheng using this little bit of downtime to get some screen time. So is Aiza Puntillas. This is a big point because this is a big game. If Petro Gazz wins, they tie with
the cargo.
F2.
That's right.
Okay, we'll take a quick break while the challenge team deliberates, and we'll be right back on Pilipinas Live. We're back here inside the Phil Sports Arena, Pasig City. The tail end of the 5th set. Very thrilling and controversial matchup between F2 and Petro Gazz. There's clearly the elbow. It is the elbow of Abby Maraño that clips the net on the way down.
So if there was indeed a net touch and the challenge is successful, so the point will go to the Petro Gazz Angels, and it will be a match point.
Yeah, it should be, because it doesn't look like Soltones touched the net. But no, I think they will just replay the point. So that's now Maraño and Soltones just having fun with it. And here's another angle. Oh, looks like a much better angle if you're Soltones. Yes, she clearly is far from the net.
Yeah,
There's the elbow of Maraño. So it ought to be unfair for Petro Gazz to replay the point if there's clear evidence that there's a touch by Maraño and the wrong call was made.
Kanina naman sabay, simultaneous. Kaya nga ina-explain ko sa inyo, simultaneous, meron sa taas, meron sa baba, nung pagbagsak parehas, kaya replay.
Paano po yung rule na gano'n?
Replay nga po. Conclusive nagre-replay din po tayo.
Ano yung call? Di ba dapat
Replay po, ma'am. Kanina di ba nung pancake, na-replay ko?
Alright, so
Kaya nga, ma'am, ni-replay ko. Ako na, ma'am. Replay.
there's
Go, pwesto.
a clear ruling. It's going to be a replay the point.
No point will be awarded to either team.
So there will still be 2 challenges remaining for the Angels. No challenges and no timeouts left for the Cargo Movers. 2 timeouts, 2 challenges remaining for the Angels. Replay the point. 13 serving 9. Sabete with 20 already. Alba, Laxina, overpassed. Maraño unable to put it away. Cheng, Saltones, block. Oh, what a denial up top. Abby Maraño. There's going to be a challenge again. There's going to be a challenge again here, a football challenge by the Angels.
So Petro Gazz Angels are contesting the wrong rotation of the Cargo Movers because they're saying that Ivy Laxina is still in the back row.
All right, so here it is.
Because coming up from that long lull during the challenge, no one really checked the rotations of both squads. Kaya mismo yung mga players na naguluhan, saan na nga ba ako nakapwesto? But the challenge now of the Petro Gazz Angels is football.
Yeah, because they're saying Laxina is in the back row. Is that correct?
Yeah, but foot fault is only called if there's a violation under the net. If there was indeed a foot fault. But there's no challenge about the rotations or positionings of the players. You can hear Coach Oliver.
You can hear Coach for sure. He's saying Laxina is a back row player. Why did she attack beyond the attack line?
Because while Jonas Abete was getting ready for the serve, you could see the Cargo Movers really scrambling inside the court. Kung sino yung nakapwesto sa front row or in the middle.
And Rem Palma trying to pull down Coach Oliver Almagro, having him sit down for a bit because he is clearly livid already. Trying to put levity into a very tense moment, Rem Palma. Trying to keep everybody cool, calm, and collected. So the officials still talking about it. I don't know if they have a process to review because you mentioned there's no challenge for a back row player
Right.
attacking beyond the attack line.
If there was indeed a wrong rotation, you know, there's no challenge for that.
It should have been called by the second referee. All right. Now, while they still deliberate, we will take another break and come back when everything is said and done here on Pilipinas Live. We're back in the game, and Abby Maraño is talking to our first referee. We'll listen in.
Ginawa ko, ma'am, which is galing din sa aming challenge referee. Backrow kasi siya. Eh kasi nakapunto siya, kaya magkukos siya ng... Yeah, ma'am, sinunod ka naman yung rules mo, which is... Ano siya ba?
Serve,
can't hear it clearly, but Maraño obviously is contesting the fact that it's a very late call
And the point is already awarded.
to the Angels.
Yeah, to the...
Yeah, this is going to be 5 match points against F2. And it was not based on the challenge. This is a very, very late call,
Yeah.
prompted by the challenge, but no result from the challenge was released.
Take a look what happened here.
So Laxina is supposedly a back row player.
Yes, she's supposed to be a back row player because the front row for the cargo movers is Jolina De La Cruz, Abby Maraño, and Mars Alba. Now, this is the good rotation.
Angels can close it out here. Soltones with a push. Katindig, that's gone. That's it. The Angels defeat the cargo movers, giving F2 their first loss of the Invitational Conference, while the Angels on a 3-game winning streak will tie at the top of Pool B.
That's right, what a game here for the Petro Gazz Angels. After that dominating win of the 4th set, they were able to continue to have a better momentum coming into the 5th set. And kahit na ang dami nating mga long loss during the 5th set, they were still composed and nag-relax pa rin sila until the latter part of this game.
So many lows, so many challenges, so many reviews, and so many match points and set points as well, especially in set number 4. But in the end, the Angels defeating the cargo movers in 5 sets right here at the Phil Sports Arena.
Definitely the first loss handed to the F2 Logistics cargo movers. What a game that we saw here. 5 sets, but better game actually for the Petro Gazz Angels. They started, their first set wasn't that good, but coming into the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th set of this game, na-carry nila yung momentum na yon and good set plays nila in the 5th set.
Relive this game and all PVL games and stories anytime, anywhere on the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for as low as 99 pesos per month. We're going to go to Alexis Dinsay.
Eric and Penang here with me is player of the game, Petro Gazz Angel, Miss Gretchen Soldones. Congratulations, Gretch. And you know what, Gretch? Mahigit 3 oras kayong lumaban, set point after set point, challenge after challenge. Ano ang iniisip ng isang lady beast pagdating sa ganitong endgame na gusto niyong kunin no matter what happens?
Siyempre, unang-una, mahal na mahal ko kasi yung teammates ko. And siyempre, may kanya-kanya kaming goal. Pero yun nga, sabi ko, pag binigay sa akin yung bola, gagawin ko lahat. Yun nga, pinramis ko naman na every game, I'll do my best.
At kitang-kita natin, it's more than your best. May gusto ka pang batiin lahat ng sumusuporta sa Petro Gazz Angels.
Yes! Unang-una, thank you po sa Villavicencio family, sa support nyo. And thank you po sa mga fans, sa staff namin. And binabati ko yung fiancé ko, si Mark Jason Morada. And papa ko sa Cebu, si Marvin Soldones and Morada family.
Congratulations again, Gretchen, and to the rest of the Petro Gazz Angels. We have exciting games ahead. Let's go back to the panel.
All right, thank you very much, Alexis. Congratulations. Gretchen Soltones, 31 points, 4 kill blocks, 1 ace. What a game for her and the Angels today.
Well, definitely, and like what she mentioned, every time na may game sila, lalo pa niyang ginagandahan yung laro niya. It was very evident during this game. Lahat ng bolang tinasa kanya, nakakagawa siya ng paraan to get a point. And we're looking at the match statistics. Take a look at that. Block points, cargo movers had 14, but Petro Gazz had 13 naman. But look at this, the difference in the attack points. 69 attack points of the Petro Gazz Angels versus 56 ng cargo movers. So there's a big difference there. And we saw naman, though na si Aiza Maizo Pontillas, Gretchen Soltones, Jonas Abete, and even Remy Palma doing a lot of damage for the cargo movers in terms of their defense. So those 4 players really worked well for the Petro Gazz Angels.
There's going to be a major shakeup in the standings as you can see the updated tally.
Right, F2 Logistics and Petro Gazz both have the same standings with 3 wins and 1 loss, while Chocomucho and Signal HD has 2 wins and 1 loss. So like what we mentioned, only the top 2 teams each pool will make it to the semifinals. So itong Petro Gazz and F2 still has 1 remaining games for this pool phase, while Chocomucho still has 2 games remaining. So yung mga games nila, upcoming games nila is a must-win again for all squads.
All right, courtesy of a 7-0 run, the Angels win the 5th set and give F2 their first loss of the season. Thanks to our director, Al Deri. For Alexis Nisay, my partner, Paneng the Comic Swarter, I'm Eric Japan. Thanks for watching. Coming up, the afternoon session starting with Creamline and PLDT next, right here on Pilipinas Live.
Sobrang laki na ng pinagbago. As in, yung maturity sa loob ng court.
Siyempre yung championship feeling, yung pag-enjoy mo sa last point. So, hopefully, magawa natin yan sa team.
Yes. Kaya natin. Ba't ako naiiyak?
Pero hindi tayo magsasalita ng tapos.
Oo.
So,
Oo naman.
Oo.
May kilabutan ako.